Sportsnet CHL Hockey is brought to you by Canadian Tire, still the right place. By Dodge, a proud sponsor of Major Junior Hockey. By Molson Canadian, it's a Canadian game. And by Sherwood, proud to serve the hockey world.
We are about 3 hours east of Toronto. We're in Kingston. It is snowing outside. Inside, we're going to heat things up as the Sudbury Wolves get set to do battle with the Kingston Frontenacs. Time now to take a look at In the Nets, brought to you by Bauer. Leave an impression, and starting in goal for Sudbury, Mike Smith, the former Kingston Frontenac, so he's hoping to have a good time in his old stomping grounds. And in goal for Kingston, Peter Hammerlich out of Slovakia, the third-round pick of the Pittsburgh Penguins. So a good goaltending confrontation, and we are going to have a good battle here this afternoon. The referee, Pat Smola, working the lines, Ian Smith and Ryan O'Neill. Mike Toth along with John Bruce, and we are underway. The Frontenacs in their home white jerseys, and the Wolves, who have puck possession right off the get-go, in their road blues. O'Brien, he has stripped the puck by Kelly, and right away the Wolves trying to get something going on the forecheck, and they've got some big bodies out there to do it. There's one of them, big 6'6", Alexei Semenov, who wears number 13 for the Wolves. We talked about him in the show opening. He's a mountain of a man, and he's out there on the blue line for the men in blue. It comes back into Sudbury territory. Smith, the goaltender, with his head up, makes the play into the corner. And the speedy Kelly with the spot pass ahead. He was looking for Jason Jaspers, one of two Wolves in this lineup who played for Team Canada at the World Junior Championships. The other one is on the ice now, the captain, Derek Mckenzie, and that's a lot of good experience to have in your hockey club, John.
They have a lot of depth out there. They're ready to play today. I know they're tired, but they're ready.
Good shot on goal, and Smith is officially into the game as he kicks it aside. Ianiero wearing the C in the absence of Mike Zigomanis. We talked about that in our show opening. Zigomanis going down Friday night with a shoulder injury. And Michael will join us in the second period to chat about life here in Kingston. And life just got a lot tougher for the Frontenacs without Ziggy in the lineup. Here come the Frontenacs. Sabern breaking in from his blue line position. He's muscled off the puck. Sabern back again. The former Ottawa 67 snaps it towards the net. Blocked. Scarpidlo searching for the puck. The Frontenacs stay on it. Big Pluche. Everybody yelling shoot. So he does. Short side save by Smith. The Frontenacs have something going right here and right now. They played last night in Belleville. Both John and I were in the building for that game. And Belleville winning 3-1. But Kingston made it pretty interesting for a long time, didn't they, John?
Well, they had a few guys out of the lineup, but they did a really good job of working to try to stay in the game. I think sometimes you get tired. They played a lot of hockey lately.
Lioncourt brings it over the line for the Wolves. Falls down. Puts the puck into the corner. And now they'll give chase. Lou Dickinson arcs it around the corner boards. Up the other side for Kluche. Reckelmans has it. He gets it in tight with Tom Katsopoulos firing on the fly, way wide of the net. Comes out the other side and goes to center ice, and Starling protecting that puck. Wolves making changes. Katsopoulos brings it in, loads it up, again way wide. McCutcheon tries to track it down. A pair of 18s go shoulder to shoulder. And here comes McCutcheon. He's got Cook with him, but it's whistled down. Oh, offside at the line, and the fans are upset about that, and we can hear them because we're sitting right in the middle of this angry mob. Let's take a look now at our lineups, brought to you by Toyota Canada and its dealers from coast to coast.
Well, the Sudbury Wolves made some trades at the trade deadline, and one of the big men they brought in was Dan Jancevski. They brought him in for his leadership skills, and that's one thing that he really has. He's very confident. And on forward, another guy from the London Knights as well as Jancevski is Chris Kelly. He's very experienced. He's only played 45 games, 72 points.
Yes, he missed the All-Star game this year with a broken wrist, but he's back in the lineup now and helping this Sudbury team do some great things. Only one loss in their last 10 games down the stretch. They're trying to win the pennant in the OHL Eastern Conference. Hammerlich leaves it for O'Brien. And the Frontenacs so beat up. We mentioned Zigomanis, but they've also got a couple of defensemen down. So their defensemen that they do have in the lineup will play a lot of hockey. O'Brien, we saw him, for instance, in Belleville last night. He played a lot, and so did this man who touches the puck up. Nathan Tennant will get a face-off down in Sudbury territory.
Well, Kingston is short-staffed today, but on defense, Eric Braff, the coaches referred to him as Mr. Consistency. They have a solid defense, and they're very, very experienced, but they're not a very offensive defense. Forward, the one person that is a big man up front, a very tough customer, is Kluche. But he's had a really good season this year, especially in the goal department. That's what they wanted him to develop.
The second-round pick of the New Jersey Devils, and he is big. Comes back to Tennant, their most gifted offensive defenseman. Quick shot, stopped by Smith. Sapper moving in, another shot, pad saved by Smith. And the Wolves will bounce to the attack. Starling gets it ahead for Kelly, but it's whistled down offside at the Kingston blue line.
Well, the old guy Larry Mavety, he's been around for a long time. He's quite a character when you talk to him. He's got that low drowning voice out there, and sometimes you'll hear him screaming across the ice at his players. I remember playing against him when he was coaching the Belleville Bulls. It was almost intimidating when he was across the ice and you're on the ice. He's yelling at his players. You think he's yelling at you.
He's got that big booming voice. You're right. And he's been at it a long time, is right too. This is his 20th year in the Ontario Hockey League. Spent a lot of time coaching the Belleville Bulls, as John talked about. Now here he is in Kingston. Smith puts it up on the glass. And the Wolves will rock the puck to center ice. Kelly tried to steal it. Comes back to Tennant. With his head up. He needs some help. Doesn't get it, so he just scoops it into the air. And they track back for it. And Starling will touch it. And the faceoff coming up in Kingston territory as we've played in just over 4 minutes.
Bert Templeton, we saw him at the All-Star game. We've had some really good conversations with him. He has a lot of experience in this league. And you heard him in the opening. The reason he coaches, I don't think it's because of the money. I think he really loves the game. I think he really loves the kids and being around these kids. He works well with them, and he's sent a lot of people to the NHL.
Yeah, we were kidding in the opening. If you didn't see it, I said, Bert, what keeps you going? And he said, well, I didn't plan for my retirement very well. I've got to keep coaching. And of course, he was just having some fun because he loves the challenge. Into his 24th year as a coach in the Ontario Hockey League and his 2nd year in Sudbury. He's got a good team. And this good team could get a little better, too, because there's been some discussion that the New York Islanders might send Taylor Pyatt back to the Sudbury Wolves. Pyatt not seeing a lot of ice time as a young Islander, and he could still get sent back to Sudbury for the stretch run. And Bert certainly hoping that's the case. Frontenacs dump it in deep. There's Semenoff, 2nd-round pick of the Edmonton Oilers. He has the puck, and he's got some skills. He's got 20 goals this year. Cross ice it comes, and here comes Fedor Fedorov. Yes, the brother of Sergei Fedorov of the Detroit Red Wings. And Fedor Fedorov, a draft pick of the Tampa Bay Lightning. He's another big man. He wears number 81 for the men in blue. Kluche has it. Rolls off his stick, but they bang it in anyway as he gets some help. And Kluche gives chase. Working hard down the corner. Breckelmans has it behind his own net. Breckelmans picked up in a trade from Sarnia this year, coming to Sudbury as part of their championship quest. He wears number 5. The giveaway. Dickinson steals it, gets hauled down. Fans not happy. Tennant with a shot. That's wide. Sabrin moving in. Puts it behind the net for Big Kluche. Rolling off the check. He's got Tennant open at the point, but they decide to keep it down low one more time. Sabrin in tight. Picked off by the Wolves. Both of these teams, John, have played a lot of hockey of late.
Oh, they have played a lot. They're both playing. This is their 3rd game and 3rd night. The Sudbury team is coming off a stretch of 7 games in 10 days.
Wow.
Now Fedorov, the brother of Sergei, like you had mentioned, I was talking to him about how his conditioning was before the game, and he mentioned that in the summertime a lot of guys do a lot of heavy weights and things like that. He says his father trains him in the summertime. They do a lot of plyometrics, a lot of endurance type of training. And he said that he feels pretty good, but you can tell coming down the end of the season, the look at some of these boys' faces, their eyes are starting to sink in their face, and they're getting really lean from playing so much hockey.
Yes, you spent a lot of time talking with Fedor Fedorov, but you didn't ask him the most important question of all. Has he ever met Anna Kournikova, his brother's girlfriend of tennis fame? You got to get to the heart of the matter here on the show, John.
I'm digging for the important thing.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, you're probably the smart one. Thompson battles for it. And the Frontenacs, you can see what they want to do. They want to get that early lead if they can, because with all of their people down, they're going to get very tired down the stretch, having played all of that hockey that John was alluding to. Yes, this is their 3rd game in 3 nights. Here they come again. Blocked by Starling to Katsopoulos. He's got Prozic on the right side. But Katsopoulos decided to shoot, hit a pair of shin pads, and the Frontenacs work it back the other way. Thompson to center ice. Long shot. Smith stops that. The Frontenacs making some quick changes. Tennant. Puts it off the boards. For Brody Todd. Rolls off his stick. And again, the Wolves trying to assemble the troops. Giveaway, but Todd can't do anything with it because he's got a man trapped. He had to wait for Langdon to get back on side. Langdon behind the net gets rocked by Starling. Starling, kid from Delisle, Saskatchewan, who's come all the way from out west to play in the OHL, the Sudbury Wolves. Starling wears number 14 for the Sudbury team. And last year he played with the Kamloops Blazers in the Western Hockey League. Todd brings it in. Trying to leapfrog over Resnicek. Tennant, he was in the open at the point, but they couldn't get it to him, and the Wolves bring it back. Josh Gratton with a long shot, and it goes off Hammerlick and into the crowd. We are scoreless. We are just getting heated up in Kingston this afternoon. Stay with us. Stay tuned for Sports Central with Darren Drager. Everybody excited about the Brier Championship going on today, and Darren will tell you all about that. In case you miss anything from the early edition, don't fret, don't worry. We've got Sports Central Primetime, Jamie Campbell and RJ Broadhead standing by with that. Mike Tope, John Druce, and our entire Sportsnet crew happy to be in Kingston this afternoon. Snowy Kingston. A perfect day for a hockey game. Weird bounce. Stillman trying to take advantage. Throws it back. That missed his man, and the Wolves backtrack. Over the line is Jason Jaspers. Gets it in for Big Brennan. He puts it behind the net for Kelly. Jaspers in front. They can't work it for him. And the Frontenacs bring it back the other way. Stillman moving in. Great hands. Backhand shot. Smith moving over. Oh, Stillman. He's so smooth, and if that name Corey Stillman sounds familiar, yes, he is the second cousin of Corey Stillman, who plays with the Calgary Flames. He's out there wearing number 6 for the Frontenacs, and he had a great chance as the play whistled down. Corey Stillman going to work, and we see why he is our top prospect in this game today. And it's brought to you by MasterCard, the official card and payment system of the Canadian Hockey League.
Well, I was talking to coach about Corey Stillman. He's rated 30th overall in Central Scouting, so he's looking forward to the draft. But the one thing they did say about him, he has the ability to control a game. He's got the big skills, the big reach. He's a tall man, but he can control the game. Sometimes, though, his consistency's not there, so that's one thing that he does have to work on.
And like all the great ones, he has that great puck patience, and we saw an example of that just a moment ago. He didn't panic. Mckenzie motoring to the attack. He's the top scorer for the Sudbury Wolves. 84 points coming in. He takes a whack at one of the Frontenacs, and Mckenzie is going to play for that. As yes, Scarvidlo hits the deck, and Mckenzie is going to get the penalty, and you can probably hear the fans behind me yelling 5 minutes. How are you folks doing this afternoon? Great to see you. Yeah, we're right in the middle of the crowd here, as you can probably hear. Here it is here, John.
Scarvidlo and Mckenzie are at the blue line on the right-hand side of the screen. Whoa. The last second, Mckenzie just swings his stick around and catches Scarvidlo right in the face. It was kind of a, I don't think he really meant to hit him up high like that, but the stick did catch him up high.
And they want Scarvidlo healthy because he mans the point on the Kingston power play, so he's an important component to that program. It looks as if he's going to be okay now.
He does. He utilizes the point. Larry Mavity said that Scarvidlo is very versatile.
And it's a 4-minute penalty, John.
Yeah, it looked like innocent. The play looked very innocent, but getting the stick up in the face like that, it's reason for an extra 2 minutes.
So here we go. We'll see the Frontenacs work the power play, and this is that golden opportunity we were talking about right off the get-go. As with all of their injury problems, and they've also got Derek Campbell serving the second of a 2-game suspension, they need to get the jump on a very good Sudbury team. Let's see if they can do it right here, right now. Dickinson out in the power play up front with Kuche. Kuche will be the man who stands in front. Scarvidlo out there in the power play as well.
Kingston team is 18th in the league in the power play, so it's not one of their strong suits. But you're right, they got to look for a guy like Kluche out front. He's the one that's been banging in some goals in the power play for this team.
And they've got Tennant and Savern back in the points. So for this power play, at least, they go with Scarvidlo up front. And of course, with Mike Zigomanis injured, he would be on this power play unit. Obviously, when you've got 40 goals, you want a guy like Zigomanis out there. But if you missed it off the top, he is out with a shoulder problem. Shot from the line by Kluche goes wide. 3 minutes to go now in this 4-minute power play, with 10 minutes to go in a scoreless first period. Tennant having some problems in front of his own net. Linecourt gives him a rough ride. And the Frontenacs trying to assemble the troops. Here they come. Andrew Ianiero. He's always hustling. The 5th round pick of the Ottawa Senators. He wears number 12 for the Fronts. Throws it in deep. And again, the Wolves pump that puck down the ice.
They're having a hard time getting set up in the offensive zone. The one thing that they do need to do is try to get it set up and make some things happen, get that puck moving around.
Ianiero tried to hit Elizabeth with a pass. That failed to connect. And O'Brien goes back for it. And this is where you can really see the Frontenac's Achilles heel. The coaching staff told us they don't really have an offensively talented defenseman, with the exception of Tennant. When he's not in the ice, they struggle.
They don't have a lot of depth in offense, and Tennant is probably their most offensive defenseman.
Really struggling on the power play now.
Sudbury team's doing a really good job of their defense standing up. They're not giving the Kingston offense any chance to get anything moving in the zone. They're closing that gap, shutting them down in the neutral zone.
1:45 to go in attack time on this 4-minute power play. And so far, they don't have a single solitary shot on goal. Eric Braun, veteran 20-year-old, always on the ice, it seems, for the Frontenacs. Lugs the puck to center ice, pumps it in. Smith is going to play it himself. Can't get it up. Held in by Braun. But he threw it to the open wing, and the Wolves bring it back the other way. Katsopoulos head up, snaps it in. And Sudbury making quick changes, and we can see them do it because their players' bench is about 10 feet from our broadcast location. We are right in the middle of the crowd in Kingston. I think it's just great. I wish one of the fans here behind us would go and get some popcorn, though, because I'm a little hungry. And a play whistled down.
The Sudbury team did a very, very good job. They've got a minute left to kill, but they have not given the Kingston team an inch. Chris Kelly is a very important part of this team. He came over in a trade from London. He has great offensive numbers. He's only played 45 games, 72 points. He had a wrist injury. It was a scaphoid injury. So he's one of the additions that has brought the depth into the Sudbury club. But since the trade deadline, this Sudbury club has really turned their team around. They've really come on strong. Been very hot down as of late down the stretch.
From the beautiful community of Bowmanville, one of my favorite towns in Ontario. Bowmanville, Ontario, beautiful community.
It's one of my favorite towns too. I love Bowmanville.
Kluche behind the net. Tennant is there. He's going to skate it himself, and this is the man we were talking about. He's got to get it going from the backside for the Frontenacs. Nathan Tennant, he wears number 4. Keep your eye on him. He's back on the ice in the power play now, but he doesn't have a lot of time to work with. 40 seconds to go in attack time of the power play. 7:45 to go in the opening frame. And again, we are scoreless. Now maybe they can get something going. Scarvidlo spots Ianiero. Touch pass to Dickinson. To the line. Tennant can't hold it in. Here's a break for Jaspers. Jaspers one-on-one with Hammerlick. Moving in for the kill. Takes the shot. And Hammerlick has it. They battle for it. And the referee, Smola, is going to call a penalty on the play. And the Wolves obviously trying to sell that goal, but Smola, the referee, wasn't biting. Hammerlick held it out.
Well, that was a lucky break for the Frontenacs. Hammerlick came up big. You see Tennant pitching in at the blue line, and Jaspers gets on his horse, and he's off to the races. And Tennant's doing everything he can to take him off. Hammerlick just pinches that pad against the post at the last second to cover up. Jason Jaspers, one of those national junior team members. Great offensive player for the Sudbury team. You have to be very responsible at the offensive blue line when you see guys like Jaspers out there, Mckenzie, Chris Kelly. They're going to jump on these loose pucks and take any advantage that they can to get down the ice on the shorthanded situations. They're not holding back.
So that will negate the power play. And in 21 seconds, the Wolves will load it up. Quick shot, Semenov. And Hammerlick got a piece of that. Boy, Semenov can shoot that puck. The big Russian has 20 goals this year, and that was a rocket. Linecourt checked off the puck. Ianiero, the center ice, waits for some help. Gets it through to the veteran 20-year-old Travis Lisbeth, rolled off his stick. And now Mckenzie back on the ice, and Sudbury with the man advantage. And Semenov is one of the people to watch. He's got 15 power play goals. Jason Jaspers also with 15 power play goals. He is camped out at center ice. 1:25 to go in attack time for the Wolves. Fedorov twisted around by Ianiero. And now Kingston gets it down the ice. This is a pretty good power play for Sudbury, isn't it, Jim?
They do have a good power play. They're rated 9th in the leagues. And one of the big things you have to watch out for is Semenov from the point. We just saw this one-timer a little earlier, but that's what they look for. It's a cannon.
Ianiero steals it, the best penalty killer on this Frontenac team. And Semenov wasn't biting. Ahead for Jansevsky, the second-round pick of the Dallas Stars. He wears number 15 for the Wolves. But again, Kingston parks it down the ice. They've done a nice job, and they've got some really good penalty killers in Lisbeth and Ianiero. Both of them leaving the ice surface now. They get some fresh troops over the boards. Semenov wheeling and dealing in the neutral zone. Here comes that big shot. Another cannon. Wow. Hammerluck knows all about his shot. You've got to get out to the top of the crease whenever Semenov has it. Jansevsky, head up. Shot deflected. 25 seconds to go in the power play for the Wolves. Down the ice it goes. Boy, Semenov can rip that thing, John.
He can bring her. I'll tell you what. Hammerluck's got to have a lot of courage to stand in front of that shot.
Kelly into the corner. 10 seconds to go in the power play. And again, the front's doing a nice job as they clear the deck. And Starling goes back for it. A native of Delisle, Saskatchewan. Hello to all you folks out in Delisle this afternoon. Ahead for Biancourt. Malfunction at the junction as Biancourt and Kelly both collide. And of course, they both wear blue. That's not good. Power play is over. Good kill for Kingston. And how it goes over the glass. Bodies are flying all over the place, and Hammerluck making some big stops too. We've got a good one going. Bonus hockey coverage for you folks in Sportsnet East. Today at 5 Eastern, the Ottawa Senators take on the Washington Capitals. The Capitals, one of John Bruce's former teams. And for the rest of the nation, you will head out to Sweden. That's a long place to go, but a good place when you get there because we have got some World Cup skiing headed your way. Got a good one brewing in Kingston this afternoon. Frontenacs and the Wolves are scoreless with 5 minutes to go in the opening period. Brody Todd, young 17-year-old for the Frontenacs. He wears number 9. Battling for that puck in the corner, and what a battle it is. Look at him work for that puck. And finally, it solves nothing. And they'll try again. Our top scorers are brought to you by CGC, manufacturers of sheetrock drywall products.
Derek Mckenzie's leading the Sudbury Wolves team. He's really had a really terrific campaign, especially coming back from the World Junior Championships, followed up by guys like Fedorov, Chris Kelly. Chris Kelly has been a solid addition to this team.
Yes, Kelly coming over, and the deal with the London Knights along with Dan Jansevsky. That's a big trade for the Wolves. Trying to put the pieces in place. That would maybe give Bert Templeton his third OHL championship. Bert won one in 1976 with the Hamilton Finn Cups, and that was the year he also won the Memorial Cup, and he also won an OHL title with North Bay in '94. Here come the Wolves. They shoot. They score! Grattan! What a beautiful play, and Grattan cleaned up in front, and the Wolves strike first.
The Frontenacs are putting pressure on down in the far end. They break out, and what happens is they've got a third guy caught down, so it creates a 3-on-2 situation. Give and go pass there. Number 32, Josh Grattan, finds a lower right corner. Defenseman pitches up, becomes a 2-on-1. Hammerluck couldn't do anything but come across as quick as he can, and Grattan did the right thing, put it nice and low along the ice. It's very tough for a goalie to save it when he's coming across that quick.
Sudbury goal is 5th of the season, scored by number 32, Josh Grant. He is number 21, Wally Crosby, and number 19, Steve Ellis. Hockey goal, 15 minutes, 40 seconds. Josh Grant, Wally Crosby, and Steve Ellis.
a beautiful goal, and the Frontenacs look for the equalizer. Tennant with a quick shot. And the Wolves bring it up to center ice. Jaspers dumps it in. Hammerlick, who had no chance on that goal by Grattan, plays it to the side. Kuche doing some stick handling, loses the puck. Jansevsky goes back for it. That's that goal, Grattan, from Ellison Prodzik. The goal that has given the Sudbury Wolves a 1-0 edge, and that's the man who scored the goal. We're getting closer to the Tuesday trade deadline, and tomorrow on the Hockey News, we'll have a very interesting pre-trade deadline show for you, a 1-hour edition of the show, including a very interesting feature on what it's like for an NHL player and his family to be traded in the middle of his season, as Christine Simpson focuses on Scott Mellenby, who was dealt to St. Louis by the Florida Panthers a few weeks ago. Always disruptive when you get traded. Not that you would know anything about that, John.
Oh, I've been in a couple trades. It's not an easy transition.
Yeah, it's tough. Tough game this afternoon in Kingston. Josh Grattan has given the Wolves a 1-0 edge with just over 3 minutes to play in this first period. And if that name Grattan sounds very familiar, it should. He is the cousin of Chris Grattan, who plays with the Buffalo Sabres. And Chris was a junior star in Kingston, and now Josh playing with Sudbury. And he has the goal from Ellison Prodzik at 15:40 that made it a 1-0 hockey game.
These two teams have come into this game. They're very, very tired. They played a lot of hockey lately. This Josh Grattan, he's only got his 5th goal of the game today, but cousin of Chris Grattan, Josh Grattan. I played with Chris in Chris in Philadelphia, and I actually saw him in Toronto when he was with the Buffalo Sabres earlier a couple months ago.
Penalty. And no doubt about that. Here it is here, John.
Right in front of the net, Starling just gets a stick in between the legs of the Kingston forechecker, and he falls down. One of the things when you're on the defensive side of things, you put your stick between a forward coming at you. It's very tough to get around you, but if you did get that little bit of a step and you get twisted, you go down. You can draw a penalty that way.
Yeah, it's tough when you do that right in front of the referee, and the evidence is right there in front of him. And so Kingston with an opportunity to tie up the hockey game here late in the first period with another power play. And they had the 4-minute power play with Derek Mckenzie off on the high sticky, and they didn't do anything with it. Let's see what they do here. Ianiero behind the net. He's hauled to the ice by Breckelmans. Scarvidlo back on the point now for the power play. Fanned on a shot. Fedorov off to the races. He is so smooth. Here he comes. The big man with the smooth hands. In tight for Mckenzie. Rolled off his stick. Fedorov picks it up again. Fedorov, a very improved player. He was only a 6th-round pick of Tampa Bay a few years ago. He's better than that now. Stillman into the corner. Golfs it to Scarvidlo. Elizabeth. Back to Ianiero. And Scarvidlo again back at the point. The 3rd-round pick of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Back at the point. He's got that puck. Backhand shot, a weak one, lying there. Lisbeth hammers away for it, and it comes loose from Mckenzie. Good first move. Mckenzie still with the puck. Pulls up over the line. Good second move. Now he'll shoot. Hammerlick got it right in the breadbasket, and he'll squeeze it for a faceoff. Derek Mckenzie, the Sudbury boy, putting on a show in a shorthanded situation.
Mckenzie does have 4 shorthanded goals. Their penalty killing unit is 7th, but he just makes some nifty little moves coming through the ice and tries to take advantage of anything that the other team gives him. Scarvidlo really didn't try to stand him up or take him in any way. It gave Mckenzie a little extra room to get that extra step to get a shot on net. When you're on the power play, you have to jump on top of these penalty killers when they're coming down. They're shorthanded. You're the one that's supposed to make me work a little bit harder when you're on the power play. Take advantage of that man, that short man for the other team.
Kingston with 50 seconds to work the power play. 1:40 to go, opening period. Back to center ice it goes. Eric Brock backs up. Snaps it in. Frontenacs try and chase it down. And goaltender Smith puts it high in the air. Tennant leaping into the sky to knock it down, but the Wolves have puck possession. Kelly tried that soft pass in tight for Jaspers. It was banged away. Kuche couldn't catch up with the pass. And it's cleared back to center ice. Tennant, the Brock, rocks it in. Blocker saves Smith. Into the corner, Lou Dickinson chopping away at it. They chop it over the glass and out of play.
Here you see Lou Dickinson is a draft pick of the Edmonton Oilers, 4th round. This Kingston team has 6 players that are drafted into the NHL. Here you see Mike Zigomanis is out of the lineup. 2nd rounder to the Buffalo Sabres. Hopefully maybe take the spot of a guy like Michael Pekka. Doug Gilmour is on his way out of the lineup.
And Andrew Ianiero, a draft pick of the Ottawa Senators. And a great penalty killer, but he's thinking power play now. Whoa, big hit. As stepping into the fray was O'Brien, and he really rocked one of the Sudbury Wolves. And the fans got excited about that. Ianiero, he gave it away. Power play over. Frontenacs 0 for 3 with the man advantage. Kelly, wrist shot, Hammerlund. He stopped it, but he didn't know it. He didn't know where that puck was as he lost it at the last second, but it didn't cost him. Stillman over the line, drop pass, moving in. Elizabeth gets the shot off. It goes wide. There's a piece of driftwood on the ice right in front of the Sudbury goal. Breckelmans clears it around to Kip Brennan. Pass ahead for Jaspers. 15 seconds to go in the period. He's got Kelly with him. Jaspers, top of the face-off circle, tried to get the shot off. Hammerlund, the goaltender, very active, sticks it to the corner. Brennan tracks it down. They throw it through the crease out the other side. Starling pinching down, takes the shot, but that's going to do it as the buzzer goes. And the Sudbury Wolves, on a goal by young Josh Gretton, draw first blood in Kingston this afternoon. But something tells me the battle is far from being over. Look at O'Brien. He was the man who popped one of the Sudbury Wolves just inside the line, and now the Wolves want to let young O'Brien know that they're not going to forget about that. Pretty good first period. We're back with our first intermission show right after this timeout. Stay with us, everybody. You're watching Sportsnet, CHL Hockey. 1-0 for the Wolves.
Hi, everybody. I'm Darren Dreger, live in the CTV Sportsnet studio. Afternoon hockey in the National Hockey League as the Edmonton Oilers try to make it 8 straight wins. We'll bring you up to date on the early edition. Both the Jays and the Expos also in action. And, yeah, that Brier final going on at the Civic Center in Ottawa. Both rinks looking for their 3rd Brier title. Randy Furby, the veteran, taking on Kerry Burton. First end, Alberta's Dave Netowin throws last rock. Manitoba sits 2, but Netowin draws the button. And Alberta takes the early 1-0 lead. Delay in the second end, there's a bird flying around, a Pidgeot wreaking havoc. Leaves some debris on the ice, and there it is. Second end, Burtnick facing 2. Tests his draw weight early on as well. He has that in his back pocket to score one more to tie it up at 1. I can tell you that Kerry Burtnick also stole one as Manitoba leads playing in the 4th end at the Civic Center 2-1. No update yet on what they've done with the Pigeon. We'll keep you posted on the early edition. Afternoon action, the Oilers, the Hurricanes, and Raleigh-Durham. Craig McTavish and the Oilers winless in 6 at Carolina, but they won 7 in a row. Opening period, Ethan Moreau hit in the face with a puck. He had to leave this hockey game, but the good news is he came back ready to go in the second. Carolina with the attack. Shane Willis stopped by Tommy Salo. David Tanabe also shut down. Late in the first, the Oilers with a power play. Tom Poti takes the shot. It's deflected into Anson Carter's face. He left the game. No score after 1. Second period. Bad turnover. George Larocque beats Artur Zerbe, his 11th, and a big goal it is to make it 1-0 Oilers. And that's the way it stands in the second period. Tommy Salo has broken Curtis Joseph's record of 167 minutes and 24 seconds of consecutive shutout hockey. We'll keep you posted again, and the outcome is Edmonton tries for 8 straight. Detroit and the Minnesota Wild. Darby Hendrickson scoring for the Minnesota Wild as the Wild open up the scoring in the opening period, 1-0. Manny Fernandez returning after missing 2 games with a knee injury. promised baseball, so here it is. The Expos and the New York Yankees. Derek Jeter's first action of spring training. Remember, he's been out with a bad wrist. Top of the opening inning, Expos get Randy Kaesler off Jeff Blum. He ropes a single the other way. Tim Raines rounds in, and it's 1-0 Expos. Top of the third, 3-1 Montreal. Expos strike Lee Stevens with a double down the line. Next batter is Fernando Seguinol with an RBI double. That's enough to bring in Stevens, and it's 4-1 Montreal. Mike Mordecai with another hit past Jeter. Run comes in from second, 5-1 Montreal at that point. Plenty coming up on the early edition. Join us. We'll take you through the NHL and everything else going on. Look for it on the early edition.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's play where they started. Jason Smith with the Edmonton Oilers, Daniel Tkachuk with the Calgary Flames, Roberto Luongo with the Florida Panthers. Where did they play in the CHL? The answer in a couple of minutes. The answers are being provided for the Kingston Frontenacs by Andrew Ianiero. In the absence of Mike Zigomanis, Ianiero is wearing the C. He is so gifted offensively, great penalty killing, and obviously a big part of their power play. As we saw in the first period, they came away empty-handed, but that could change before the afternoon is over. Andrew Ianiero joins us now. Not a bad first period for the hockey club when you think about some of the people missing from your lineup, Andrew.
Definitely, we have to be pretty happy with that first period that we played. We outshot them 9-7, had a couple of good chances, and hopefully we'll bury one in the second there.
What are you trying to do in terms of the leadership role with Ziggy out of the lineup? It's an important part of the game to step up and be counted, and you have to do that now.
Definitely. No one guy's going to step in and take the place of Mike Zigomanis. You know, I've played with him for 3 years now. I've learned a lot of things for him. I'm just trying to fill a job that he did so well for 2 years.
Hey, I love coming to this rink. What's it like playing in this rink? Because this is one of the historic buildings in the CHL. It's a great atmosphere here.
Definitely, you know, it's one of the best rinks in the CHL. I've played here for 3 years. I love it. There's so much history in this barn. It's just an honor to play here, really.
What about the Ottawa Senators? You're a draft pick of theirs. Always trying to impress them. What's the latest on that front?
I'm not really too sure right now. You know, I'm just worried about this season right now, trying to get as high as we can in the playoffs and see how far we can go in the playoffs, and I'll worry about the Ottawa Senators when the season's over.
The NHL situation will take care of itself. We appreciate that, Andrew. Good luck in the second period.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's Andrew Ianiero wearing the C for the Kingston Frontenacs and doing a great job. Jason Smith now with the Oilers, but he used to play with the Regina Pats. Daniel Tkachuk with the Barrie Colts. Roberto Luongo with Val d'Or. We are back with more right after this.
Toyota CHL Extra, brought to you by Toyota Canada and its dealers.
We're into the stretch run, and the fun has just begun. There's a great fight for first in the OHL East. The season ends in 12 days, and the pennant race will go right down to the wire. The Sudbury team we're watching today is right in the thick of things. Of interest, the Oshawa Generals eliminated from the playoffs this week for the first time in 23 years. In the OHL West, the two American-based franchises are battling for top spot, and 3 teams still have a legitimate shot at the 3rd seed. The Quebec League's Labelle Conference is a one-trick pony as the high-flying Shawinigan Cataracts continue to pile up the points. They've already clinched the Quebec League regular season title, the second time they've done that in their 32-year history. And in the Delio Conference, Bay, Como, and Halifax are running 1-2, but 3rd place is still very much up for grabs. Turning to the Western Hockey League's Eastern Conference, the Red Deer Rebels continue to roll. There are rumors that their GM and coach Brent Sutter could move to the NHL next year with the New York Islanders. And if those rumors prove to be true, Sutter would love to leave on top. In the Western Conference, another former NHLer who's also proven to be a great coach has his team in first place. Mark Habscheid and his Kelowna Rockets continue to show their fans how the West was won. The cup that everyone wants to win is on the line in Regina, and the quest for the Memorial Cup begins right here on Sportsnet May 19th. Brian Maxwell has won 2 Memorial Cups as a Western Hockey League coach, and he'll be behind the bench of the Lethbridge Hurricanes a week from today as the Canes and the Medicine Hat Tigers get together for our regular season finale on Sportsnet CHL Hockey. We are live in Kingston this afternoon. Bodies flying everywhere. O'Brien and Kelly get to know each other a little bit more, and we'll get to know you a little bit more right after this. The play of the period is brought to you by iTech, your total hockey resource center. 1 goal in the first period, and that's our play.
Well, the Kingston Frontenacs break down. They didn't have a 3rd man high, and off the Sudbury Wolves are on a 3-on-2. The defenseman doesn't block the pass coming through, and Josh Gratton finds the lower corner. Nice little pass. The defenseman steps up in the play. But Grattan finds the lower corner. Hammerlock didn't have a chance at stopping that one.
Good goal. It's a good game. And that's our play of the period. We're back after this.
Sportsnet CHL Hockey is presented in part by Canadian Tire, still the right place, and by Dodge, a proud sponsor of Major Junior Hockey.
Hey, you darn kids. You're giving us a headache. Having some fun. And again, our broadcast booth right in the middle of all the fun and Vivaldi. Our first period summary brought to you by Aruba, a memory forever.
Well, there wasn't really a lot happening. The shots 12-6 for Kingston. Sudbury had 4 scoring chances first period. 2 of them were shorthanded. It's been a real tight battle, but Sudbury's on top 1-0 coming into the second.
And the Kingston Frontenacs modeling their brand new jersey, their 3rd jersey, which they introduced last month, and they wanted to accent the Count more. What am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about Count de Frontenac, the French explorer who toured this area back in the 1600s. Of course, you read about him in school, John.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, Count de Frontenac.
Well versed on Count de Frontenac.
Well, that's good, because I was at the back of the room in social studies class reading my copy of the Hockey News, so you were doing what you were supposed to be doing. But it's a beautiful jersey. They brought in a little silver with the traditional gold and white and black of the Frontenac's jersey, and the fans just love it. Everybody loves the new look. Now we've got a new look because we've got a new period. Period number 2 has begun as the Sudbury Wolves lead this game 1-0, and that's the man we talked to in the first intermission, Andrew Ianiero.
Well, we talked about how it's very important having Zigomanis out of the lineup today. Ianiero is one of those people that is very versatile, especially playing all 3 forward positions. Mavity can use him in all kinds of situations. He's very, very, very versatile.
Love watching him play. We saw him last night in Belleville, and he did everything he could to keep his team in a hockey game, and they were in that game for a long time. They got a goal called off in the first period that would have been the opening goal of the game, and I thought it was a bad call, and that would have given Kingston something to build on. Didn't happen, and they end up losing the hockey game 3-1, but they played pretty well, and Peter Hammerlock, the goaltender, was outstanding in that game for the Frontenacs, and that's why he's back in the cage this afternoon. Battle for it, Kingston territory. Mckenzie right in the middle of all that muck. Pokes it through for Kelly. Kelly chases it down, top of the blue line, drops it back for Starling. Starling in tight for Kelly. Rolling in the corner, puts it behind the net for Mckenzie, looking to spot Fedorov in front, rolled off his blades, and again goes to the corner. The Wolves have something going here. Kelly in tight for Fedorov. Jansevsky pinches down. He gets rocked by Elizabeth, and they throw it out to Ianiero, but it rolled off his stick right to the doorstep of Smith. Smith, we saw it in the first period. He loves to try and play with that puck, but it's going to cost him here. Just rolls wide of the post. Smith just never got the handle on that puck. And you love to see your goaltender get active, but when he makes mistakes like that, it's going to give you a bit of a heart attack on that bench.
There's nothing more frustrating as a player when you're coming back to get the puck and the goaltender has control of it, and he makes a play that just isn't quite right. It's tough for a goaltender when he's out with that big goal stick. Some guys do it very well, but he's struggling right there. And Ianiero, his feistiness and his tenacity getting on top of him really doesn't give him much time to make anything with the puck. He's got to be a little uptight if when you make a play like that and you turn the puck over, boy, your heart jumps a beat.
Well, they know Mike Smith, the goaltender, very well because he was with the Frontenacs last year. The backup to Andrew Raycroft, who was just sensational last year for Kingston. The most valuable player in the Ontario Hockey League, now in the Boston Bruins organization. In fact, he played a few games with the Bruins earlier this year when they ran into some injury problems in goal. And they've obviously got some great goaltending in Kingston because they decide to keep Hammerlock and young Glenn Riddler. And they move Smith to the Sudbury Wolves. Semenov, heavy shot, they score! Deflection in front. Vinecourt might have got a piece of it in front, but Semenov was the man who blasted away, and that's what we talked about in the first period. That man can shoot.
He's had 3 solid shots. Look, he's collecting the puck here. He's pretty happy with that goal. It has some meaning. But the Wolves, they put pressure on in the zone, and he doesn't give up along the boards in the battle. Semenov does not waste any time getting that puck away. He has an unbelievable release, doesn't take any time to get it away. Hammerlich didn't know what came at him. It was redirected out front of the net and squeaked through.
And the crowd now sits in eerie silence as Semenov has given the Wolves a 2-0 edge. No, they're going to give it to Viancourt, and I was wondering about that because he was in front. And Viancourt apparently did get a stick on that. It was hard to see on the angles that we got, but now, yeah, they're rewarding the goal to Michael Viancourt. But obviously Semenov picking up the helper, so there you go. At any rate, it's 2-0 for the Wolves. Viancourt, another shot on goal. Connell, big number 18. In a bit of a board war now down low in that corner. Here comes the Frontenacs. The Kingston boy, Chris Cook, knifes it in. Smith will catch it with McCutcheon right in his face. Smith decides to hold on. That goal will read Viancourt officially is 7th from Semenov and Connell at 2:06. The goal that has given that Sudbury team a 2-0 edge.
You have to give Viancourt a lot of credit for going to the net. When a big man is shooting the puck as hard as he does, there's a lot of forwards that do not want to go into those danger zones and try to screen the goalie in any way. Fortunately, it just grazed Viancourt and redirected into the net.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. It was tough to see on the angle we had, and you know why it was so tough to see? Because the puck is moving so quickly when Semenov hammers it.
We couldn't see who it went off of.
But the Wolves in front 2-0, and they're playing some great hockey. We mentioned right off the top of the show only one loss in their last 10 games, and a lot of people believe that Bert Templeton could have a crack at his 3rd OHL championship. Off the faceoff, Kingston trying to stay in this game. Bravo the shot right on. Breadbasket country, and Smith is going to hold on.
Well, Braff, we talked about the Kingston defense, that they're not really an offensive defense, but Braff has been brought in a lot for his leadership. I think they try to keep it very simple. They try to get the puck to the net when they can. They don't try to do anything too fancy. It's not like they're very quick-footed.
Braff, another shot, instant replay, and that was banged away by Smith. And every time you look up, you're going to see Eric Broff on that ice because, again, Kingston, we talked about Mike Zigomanis being down, but they've also got some injury problems on defense. Arguably their best defenseman, Doug McIver, out of the lineup, as well as he was hurt on Friday in that game against the 67s. Shot on goal. Hammerlich turns it aside. They get it back to Jancevski, not wasting any time. Hammerlich puts the paddle down. And now with a rare shift, in fact, his first of the game is young Aaron Wilson, number 3. For the Frontenacs, and the reason he is part of the program today is because of those injury problems on the blue line we talked about. Todd work it back to the blue line, but it goes right up the middle and right down the ice. O'Brien back for it. Wolves making some changes. Sudbury played in Toronto last night, losing 5-3 to the St. Mike's Mangers, and they went as far as Oshawa after the game last night, and then came the rest of the way this morning, and they had to follow a snowplow to do it. There's a shot. Hammerlich made the save. Kelly prowling for that rebound, rolls into the corner. Lisbeth puts it off the boards. Big Semenov holds it in. O'Brien being pressured, can't get it out on the first attempt. Now it comes to center, and Semenov throws it in again, but that is not going to work. Play whistle down on the offside. Let's take a look at our plus-minus leaders, brought to you by Auto Pro Mechanical and Collision, the largest network of automotive professionals.
Well, the Kingston team does have a very responsible team defensively, and they pride themselves on not getting scored on. As you can see it here, Campbell, McIver, and Stillman, plus 20. Sudbury, same type of thing. Both teams are very similar, very solid defensively, very responsible. It shows up in the plus-minus category.
And you go back to those Kingston plus-minus stats, and 3 of the top 4 men on that list are not in the lineup this afternoon. Zigomanis and Campbell and McIver all down. Campbell serving the second game of a 2-game suspension, and has been well documented on our show this afternoon. Zigomanis and McIver injured. Fedorov, look at him skate. Backs up a little bit, waits for some help. Gets it to TJ Warkus. Fedorov gets it back, and he promptly gave it away. Elizabeth skating hard to center ice, blue line and beyond. Top of the face-off circle. Tried the tricky shot, got it right in his skates, but he put it over the net. Puck into the corner. Eric Mckenzie, outlet pass. Fedorov spots TJ Warkus on the right side. Drop pass Mckenzie. Fedorov yelling for that puck. Mckenzie head up, hits Fedorov with the puck, but he overskated it. And back the other way come the Frontenacs. Spot pass, here comes Ianiero, busting in. Hammered off the puck by Jancevski. Ianiero puts it right towards the blue paint. And now he has it again. Look at Ianiero work. Spins, fires the shot. Rebound, Stillman behind the net. Ianiero again in front. Comes back to the blue line. Nathan Tennant moving in for the kill. Into the corner. He's got Ianiero right in the slot again. Now Ianiero prowls into the corner, and Sabourin has the puck. Ianiero in front. Crazy deflection. And now they roll it down the ice. And the Frontenacs will go back for it. And they'll have a face-off in Sudbury territory, trying desperately to get something going as Kingston trails this game 2-0 with 14:22 to go in the second frame.
Well, you can tell these boys have played a lot of hockey, especially Ianiero. He's out there, it seems like, every other shift. The thing about Ianiero, he's always going to come to play, and he's played with an injury most of the season. He has a shoulder injury, which he's going to have surgery on after the season is finished. Actually, it's the same surgery that I had to have done on the labrum in the shoulder.
Breckelman's behind the net. These two teams met in the first round of the OHL playoffs last year, and Sudbury won that series 4-1. But Andrew Ianiero, the man we were just talking about, was Kingston's best player in that series, and he was tailor-made for the playoffs. When they get to the postseason, and the Frontenacs will get there, he'll be a player to watch because he was born to play in the playoffs. Frontenacs throw it in. Smith will stop it and leave it for Breckelmans. Puts it behind the net. Katsopoulos tried to get it in deep, but he tried and failed. O'Brien picked it off. Wolves keep it in, however. Roth being pressured by Connell. Now the Frontenacs get to the center ice. Daryl Thompson charging down the ice. He's got McCutcheon with him. Long shot, and it was a rolling puck. Roth pinching in. Comes to Connell. Again, the Wolves making some changes, and again they do it right in front of us. Our broadcast location about 10 feet from Bert Templeton and the rest of the Wolves. So if we need to know what's going on, we can just lean over and say, "Hey, Bert, who are you going to put out next?" Well, he's busy right now. He can't answer us, but perhaps if we get in a pinch, Bert will help us.
Maybe
out.
on the whistle you can
maybe
down there.
Right, maybe at a whistle that would be a better piece of strategy. Here come the Frontenacs, trailing 2-0, needing something, moving in. And it rolls off the stick. Lou Dickinson, who might be the fastest man in the Ontario Hockey League. He's at least one of the fastest. He really can motor. The former Mississauga Ice Dog and former London Knight. He wears number 14 for the Frontenacs. Rolls down the ice. Ellis tracking it down. Passes in front. Loose puck. Grattan was there. But the Frontenacs steal it. And dealing it in is Scarvidlo. He was complaining about being hooked and hassled from behind. Scarvidlo comes back to the point. Heavy traffic in front. Sabourin, top of the face-off circle, snaps at it. It went off Pucce's skate, and that was dangerous. Grattan has it. He scored the game's first goal, number 32 for the Wolves. Gave it away. Grattan looking a little tired now. He definitely wants a change, and that's exactly what happens. Jancevski comes back for it. Hit with a high stick. They whistle it down. Sudbury Wolves whistling while they go to work as they lead this game 2-0 in the second period. Stay tuned. We were looking forward to seeing this man in action this afternoon. Mike Zigomanis of World Junior fame. He was on the ice when Team Canada defeated Sweden to win the bronze medal. In fact, he scored the game's first goal. He's a 40-goal man for the Kingston Frontenacs and a second-round pick of the Buffalo Sabres. And boy, oh boy, he's moving up that tote board. But unfortunately, his movement has been delayed because on Friday night against the Ottawa 67s, Mike Zigomanis suffered a shoulder injury, so he's out of the lineup. Mike, how does the shoulder feel?
Well, it's not bad. It's feeling a lot better than it did Friday night, and should be back within a week or so.
Yeah, it's bad luck for the Frontenacs because we mentioned off the top of the show they had some injury problems down the stretch a year ago. I like this Kingston team, though, Mike, but you tell me, you're the captain of the squad. What about the playoff chances for the hockey club?
Well, looking really good right now. We want to get up on the ladder as much as possible, and we want home ice advantage. That's a big part. That's the last time we won a series here 4 years ago. And best 5-on-5 team in the league, and hopefully we can carry that.
Well, we'll continue to chat with Ziggy here as the play continues, and he's not that thrilled right now because his team is trailing 2-0, but we'll see what happens with 11:50 to go. in this second period. The Frontenacs try to establish the forecheck, and they steal the puck. Lisbeth moving to the front. Will he snap it? Yes, he will. He was trying to set up the screen, and he got the shot off, but Smith stopped it. Comes back to Breckelman's deflection. Loose puck. Smith gets plastered in that crease. And, well, maybe just like in the National Hockey League, they're starting to call that goaltender interference penalty a lot more in recent weeks. Maybe the same is holding true now in the OHL, as the Frontenacs are going to pick up the penalty. What do you think, John?
Well, this Kingston team, they have to get to the front of the net and create opportunities, and that's exactly what Lisbeth has done here in front of the net. They have to get traffic out in front. The Sudbury Wolves have a huge defense. They clear the front of the net very well. And for them to have any opportunity against a goaltender like Smith, they have to get in front of him and try to take his sight line away.
Well, Larry Mavety not happy about that. And Ziggy, I wouldn't want Larry Mavety upset with me.
No, it's he'll get on you. He's not afraid to speak his mind.
Yeah, veteran coach with these Kingston Frontenacs. So the Sudbury Wolves operating on the power play, and as you can see, 0 for 1 with the man advantage. They got a couple of shots. They got a good power play, and they've got some weapons to use, and they've got some of those weapons on the ice right now. Derek Mckenzie, their leading scorer, with 84 points, and of course he was a teammate of Mike Zigomanis with Team Canada at the World Juniors. Heavy shots now. A couple of big blasts, and Hammerlick stood in there, and it rolls down the ice. Did you get a chance to talk with Derek Mckenzie and Jason Jaspers before the game today, Mike?
No, not at all. Not since I've got back into the season. I saw him at the All-Star game, and we had a couple chuckles about the World Juniors.
Yeah, they got in late this afternoon for the game today because of all that snow out there. Fedorov lets it come through for Mckenzie. To Kelly, back to Mckenzie. Over to Semenov. Here it comes. Everybody in the rink knew it was coming, but he shot it wide. Semenov snaps the pass in tight. Fedorov cruising behind the net. He's got Mckenzie moving in. Takes the shot. Heavy traffic in front. Blocked. They bang away for it. And it comes out to Mckenzie once more. Just under a minute to go in attack time in the power play. And look at the Wolves work it now. Kelly, wrist shot. Hammerlick stopped it. Good looking power play, John.
They're moving the puck around really, really well. The one thing the Frontenacs have to do is be aware that Semenov is looking for that one-timer. And when the puck is moving from the deep in the Kingston zone out to the point, they have to take that pass away and not give Semenov a chance to set up. But they've moved the puck around so well in that last power play that it was really tough to cover anybody, one person in particular.
We should get Mike Zigomanis to comment on Peter Hammerlick and the defensive job Kingston has done this year, because you guys are on track to break a record for lowest goals against for a season. Offense is fun, but defense still wins championships, Mike.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. We contributed a lot of that success to Hammerlick. He's come in and played steadily over the course of the season. He's had a couple rough bumps here and there, but he's been one of the main reasons for our success.
Well, Hammerlick has to hold the fort now. Time ticking down on this Sudbury power play. 30 seconds to go. O'Brien behind the net. Spots his man, and Brock will try to pump it out. Semenov held it in. That was difficult to do because it was a hot shot coming around those boards. Ianiero, one of the best penalty killers in the Ontario Hockey League. He gets as far as center. O'Brien jumps up into the play, and he whips it in. And now O'Brien, right in front of his own bench, will take that opportunity to get a change. Good job by the Frontenacs. They needed to kill that penalty, and they did kill that penalty. Power play is over, but the Wolves continue to lead it 2-0 with 9:25 to go in this second period. Jansevsky spots an open man. It's Kelly over the line. Everybody yelling that was a two-line pass. And it rolls down the ice, and Breckelmans is going to touch it up. The fans getting emotional. Hammerlick holding the fort. Kingston still very much in this hockey game. All right, welcome back. Mike Toth along with John Bruce and Mike Zigomanis, the injured Kingston Frontenac, joining us in the broadcast booth. John always has a card for every player in the OHL. This is Michael Zigomanis' card, and it says he won the Most Gentlemanly Player Award in '99-2000. The research coming through. He's a very gentlemanly man.
We can say these things. I'm not worried about him hitting me. He's got a bad shoulder or something like that. No, the one thing I wanted to ask him, though, is he scored 40 goals this year, but What impressed me about yourself is you're a solid two-way player. Have you really had to work on that, or you learned that in junior?
Well, it's something that Mav stressed in my 4 years, and he wants me to start my offense in our own end, and that's a big part. The years before I came to the first two minor bantam, my coach Dan Pelizziani really helped me out and really stressed the fundamentals of it, and I think it's helping me out the last 4 years and for the future.
I'll tell you what, Michael had a great minor hockey career. He played with one of your favorite players in Pee Wee and Bantam, John, Rafi Torres.
Oh, I can't say enough about Rafi Torres.
Ziggy and Rafi were a 1-2 punch back in the Toronto area when they played together in the minor hockey ranks. And Rafi having another great year with the Brampton Battalion. Here it is 2-0 for the Sudbury Wolves, leading the Kingston Frontenacs with just over 8 minutes to go in the second period. We're happy to have Michael Zigomanis, the injured captain of the Frontenacs, joining us for a bit here in the second period in the broadcast booth as a play whistled down on the offside. Let's talk about Larry Mavety a little bit here, because we had a chance to speak with him, Michael, before the game. He must be an easy guy to hear when you're on the ice. When he wants you to do something, there's no question that he's going to get his message through. He's got that big, booming voice.
He sees it how it is out there. He helps us out a lot, especially the young guys. He brings them in, gives guys, lets them get used to the league, and he's got a lot of experience, and he's helped me out especially.
Yeah, he's been at it a long time, 20 years, and he's still looking for his first OHL championship, and that would be great if the Frontenacs could give Larry a crack at that championship this year. It's been a long time coming. Do you remember Larry Mavety when you played in the OHL, John?
Oh, absolutely.
Remember that big booming voice?
Like I said earlier, I was on the other team, and I shivered in my boots when he was yelling at his players. I thought he'd be yelling at me. Oh, yeah. He's intimidating.
Well, he's doing a good job in Kingston. Here's Horn. Loads up the big gun. Would have hit a stick. Comes back to the top of the line. Roth, he's out there again, and with all those injuries, he'll be out there some more. Wrist shot. That was blocked. Wally Prodzic parks it off the boards for the Wolves. Play whistled down again with 7:38 to go in the second period. Once again, bonus coverage for you folks in Sportsnet East Country. We've got the Ottawa Senators against the Washington Capitals, and I went on record the other night, fellas, as saying that I believe that the Capitals are going to win the Stanley Cup. And again, that's one of John's old NHL teams, so we'll see what happens there. And for the rest of you, skiing is on tap. We've got action from Sweden, and that's what is on the menu for the rest of the country, the folks out there who are not going to pick up that Senator game on Sportsnet East, so we look forward to that. Fedorov flying through the air with the greatest of ease. Still has that puck, big number 81. Comes behind the net with some vicious intent. Sabrin gets right in his face, knocks him down. Comes to the top of the line. The Wolves have to back it up a bit. Semenov. It was his big blast from the blue line that set up the second Wolf goal. Biancourt got a piece of that puck, and that's the goal that's made it 2-0. Ianiero. Pass in front. Stillman shot right on. Smith looking very confident. Mckenzie skates it. Fedorov on his left side. Fedorov has it, swooping to the attack. Look out, here he comes. Behind the net. Bodied by Ianiero. Sabrin will race to the attack. Corey Sabrin, picked up in a trade from Ottawa this year by Kingston, snaps that puck in, and he goes for a change with 6:40 to go in the second period. Kip Brennan. Big number 10 had to roll off his stick. He keeps coming. He's a draft pick of the Los Angeles Kings. Number 10 for the men in blue is actually playing in the American Hockey League this year before being sent to Sudbury around Christmas. They get it back to Starling. Takes the shot. Heavy traffic. Where's that puck? Kelly has it. He snaps at it. Comes to the corner. Now Lou Dickinson needs some help. Doesn't find it. Gives it away. Jansevsky loads it up. Puck loose. Hammerlick desperately searching for it. And now everybody congregates in front of that Slovakian netminder, and he says, I've had enough of that. I'm going to go for a skate in the corner. I don't need this.
Well, the Wolves are putting a lot of pressure on that shift, moving the puck around really well, and what happens, the Frontenacs get running around in their own zone a little bit. Ianiero goes down. He gets hit with a puck. Dickinson's down low. Ianiero's down low and leaves the points wide open. This is a great opportunity for this Wolves defense to put the puck on net. They get the puck in deep. They just battle. This has been a grinding type of a game. Jaspers with a little nifty move and sees a wide open point. Ianiero gets hit with a shot. Then everybody, they have 5 players down almost by the goal line. leaves the points wide open for the Wolves. Dixonson's just trying to get it back out, but there's nobody there to cover the point.
Ianiero doing everything he can to keep his team in a hockey game. We had a really nice chat with him after the first period. Said that he's not worried about his NHL future, a draft pick of the Ottawa Senators. He's trying to concentrate on the playoff run, and that's exactly what you have to do. Starling throws it in deep. And O'Brien stick handles with it. Moves it up to his own blue line, parks it off the far boards to Kluche. Tried to golf it in. That's not going to work. The puck gets all tied up. Now it comes to Starling. Starling ahead for Jaspers. Will he shoot? He's thinking about it. And that's a good idea because he's got 36 goals this year. This time he dishes off to Kelly. Brennan was in front. They couldn't work it for Big Brennan. Comes back to Starling, catches it, puts it down to the ice, and socks it into the sideboard area. Kelly. Dickinson got a hold of it. And again, they throw it out. Not a lot of room out there when you've got those big Sudbury Wolves on the ice. Boy, the ice shrinks in a hurry with all those big bodies, John.
They stand up, they close the gap, they don't give the other team any opportunity through the neutral zone. It's a really tough way to play the game.
Jaspers in a 1-on-5 situation, and he almost won that battle. But it's team defense, and when you've got 5 and they've got 1, you're usually going to win it. Scarvidlo shoots and scores! That's the goal the Frontenacs desperately needed.
Well, that was a break that they needed. We talked about the Wolves defense standing up, closing the zone. They did intercept one pass. The defenseman gets caught up a little bit. Kingston team turns the puck over. A lot of play in the neutral zone. The D had stepped up and they found Scarvidlo all alone just behind the defense, just outside the blue line. He gets his head up and puts it right at the 5-hole, right in the middle of the net. It's a beautiful goal. Nice and low, finds that little hole through the pads.
And that's why they use Scarvidlo back in the point for the power play. So with 4:35 to go in the second period, Scarvidlo has the Frontenacs right back in it. It's one of the most exciting days on a hockey calendar. It's deadline day, and it's coming up Tuesday. With a cast of thousands, we've got it covered on Sports Central. And for news on all the trades leading up to and including deadline day, check out the 2001 Trade Tracker at ctvsportsnet.com. I actually designed the trade tracker, John. I don't like to toot my own horn, but beep, beep. And here's the goal that has given Kingston a fighting chance in the game.
Scarvidlo just finds it. It's a perfect shot. There's a goal in the NHL the other night. Somebody said, oh my gosh, that's a terrible goal. That's a perfect shot. When it's down low, right in that 5-hole, it's a really tough position for a goalie to stop that shot.
Face off Kingston territory, and here they come again, not wasting any time. They trail 2-1. Now they'll go for the equalizer. Thompson. He was right in the danger zone, but the Wolves pick it off. Katsopoulos scurries to the attack. It's a 3-on-2 situation. Katsopoulos shoots, and a rebound was right there. Connell tried to whack at it, but he couldn't find it in time. Comes back to the point. Breckelman's crazy deflection in front. Connell into the corner. He gets rocked by Tennant. Tennant, not a big man, but he's not afraid to throw his weight around. In front, Katsopoulos deflects it towards the net, nowhere near the cage. And McCutcheon. Here's Katsopoulos again. He's in a shooting position, so he does the smart thing. He shoots it. Comes out to center ice. Mckenzie on the ice surface now for the Wolves as he hops over the boards, and he's right into the play. And the play is whistled down. As it was a delayed offside, so they're just going to blow it right down with 3:42 to go in the second period. Here's a kid, Ziggy, that is a real practical joker in the dressing room for Kingston, isn't he? He has lots of fun down there.
Yeah, he likes to shake it up here and there, and he's been welcomed by the guys, and we really enjoy his offensive talent, and he can rush the puck and give you that nice lead pass.
He got in a fight last night against an old teammate of his. I guess he was very surprised that his teammate fought him.
Yeah, it was, well, Kornacki gave Lou Dickinson a cheap shot, and he was just coming in to stand up for his teammates, and that's something we like to see.
And now we have the two teams trading shots right in front of that Frontenac net. And Grattan is doing most of the complaining, so that leads me to believe that, yes, he is going to pick up the penalty. It's always the guy who's doing the shouting that eventually heads to that penalty box, and this is no different. Here it is.
On the bottom of the screen there, Grattan just grabbed a hold of the Frontenac forward as he's going out to the point. The referee, you can't hang on to the stick. You can't close your hand around an opponent's stick. That's a penalty. And he did give it a little extra tug, which makes it more noticeable.
Mike, what are you guys trying to accomplish here on the power play? I mean, you're a big part of the power play unit, but what's the basic game plan?
Well, we just want to get to the point man, especially Scoredlo come in last month or so. We want to get the puck to the net. We want to work on our second and third shots on net, and that's the way we're going to score down the stretch here and into the playoffs.
So lots of rubber. That's the game plan. They almost gave it away, but here Kingston comes. Ianiero working hard, throws it in. Fedorov, I love to watch him skate. Moving in. Will he shoot? Holds on to the puck. Pass in front. They score! A short-handed goal. Mckenzie on the doorstep. But it was all Fedorov.
These two players came down the ice with such confidence. Mckenzie hung on that puck and waited and waited and waited until Fedorov came in there at the last second and just batted it in. Starts down at the other end. Mckenzie picks it up, gets it to Fedorov, and patience, hanging onto the puck. Mckenzie just missed it, but the momentum of the puck after he did hit it, it went into the net. Fedorov is described to have scary talent, unbelievable skills. It shows it right here. Somebody needs to step up on him at the blue line, this defender, and take him out of the play early. And with that type of speed, it's a tough thing to do.
So Derek Mckenzie with his 5th shorthanded goal of the season, and if they're that easy, no wonder he's got 5, because Fedorov did all the work. What a beautiful play by big number 81.
Well, he has such confidence. He's got his head up. He reminds me so much of his brother, the way he handles a puck. But the patience, just hanging on to it. Mckenzie driving to the net, and he gets it to the open area of the ice at the last second.
Yeah, that's a back-breaking goal for the Frontenacs as they give up the shorthanded goal, and now it's 3-1 with just under 3 minutes to go in the second period. They've got to regroup, try and get something going here, because they still have 1:15 to work the power play. Rob can't hold it in. Scarvidlo backtracks. Outlet pass, O'Brien. Throws it in deep, and with the pressure, Dickinson right on top of him. Smith decides to hold it for a faceoff. Well, Mike Zigomanis, I want to thank you very much for coming up to the broadcast booth. I'd rather see you play, but if you're not playing, I'm glad you had a chance to spend some time up in the booth with us. We appreciate that, Mike.
Thanks a lot. Enjoyed the time.
All right, Mike Zigomanis, the bad shoulder, but they're obviously hoping to get him back for the playoff run. And the Frontenacs will be in the playoffs, but they really want John that 4th seed, because they're in a battle with Ottawa right now, and 4th seed gives you home ice advantage in the first round.
Especially in this tight division the way it is, 4th seed and home ice advantage is very important.
Roth, he's had about 5 or 6 good shots from the line, and he took another one there. He mans the right point. He moves to the middle. Scarvidlo shooting, and Smith, butterfly style, will stop and hold on with 50 seconds to go in attack time on this latest Kingston power play.
Mike was mentioning earlier how they just want to get that puck back to the point and get the shots on net. But the one thing that is very important that they didn't see on this last shot on net, Scarvidlo has the point, has the puck along the wall. He puts it to the net, but there's nobody out front to create any traffic. So it's such an easy save for Smith to just come out, cut down the angle, and make the save.
And maybe Larry Mavety was listening to you up here, because now they've got big Brett Kluche on the ice for the final remnants of this power play, and he is going to set up camp right in front of that Sudbury net. Off the faceoff, Wolves win it. Jansevsky clears it. So they'll try and set up the rush. 40 seconds to go in the power play. Kingston trails 3-1. Neither of these teams have ever won an Ontario Hockey League championship. They'd like to change that this year. Look at Dickinson. He flies through the air. Comes behind the net. Jansevsky tried to knock him down, but it worked the other way. Puche, heavy shot, saved by Smith. And Smith has looked very confident in that Sudbury goal this afternoon. Tennant, another shot, rebound. They can't get to it. Tennant Whips it into the corner. Scarvidlo down low. Kluche, as we talked about, right in front of the net, but time ticking down on the power play. Here comes Fedorov and Mckenzie. That's a no-no for Kingston fans. Now they're back to full strength. Mckenzie on the rush. Scarvidlo came back and picked it off. That 1-2 punch. And Fedorov and Mckenzie working wonders in that shorthanded situation just a moment ago, but not this time. Semenov, the big second-round pick of the Oilers, gives it to Fedorov. He gave it away. Chris Cook steals it. He has McCutcheon with him. Cook tried to shoot, but he was being hassled from behind, and it rolls into the corner. Jason Jaspers skating well to center ice. We're into the final minute of period 2. Cook. He leaves as he felt that he was getting some help, and now Cook can really leave that zone, and they were trying to spot him, but the pass was too far ahead. Kelly doing some forechecking on O'Brien, but he kept his head about him and throws it back into Sudbury territory with 30 seconds to go in the second period. Big Kip Brennan. Cross ice to Jaspers. Put it down from his leather to his lumber, and now he lumbers into that corner. Comes back to the line. Starling takes the shot. Hammerlet decides to shut it down for a moment with 17 seconds to go in this second period. Look at our game story now, and it's brought to you by Rayovac. Stop by your local home hardware or home building center for your free CHL puck coupon and a chance to win a trip for 2 to the Memorial Cup in Regina.
It's been a pretty tight contest so far, but the one thing was the backbreaker was a shorthanded goal. Mckenzie scored, put the Wolves up 3-1. Kingston had just come in within 1 goal, and then they had the power play opportunity, but then Wolves came back with a shorthanded, put them up by 2 goals.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see Sudbury down the stretch because they're a tired hockey club, playing their 7th game in 10 nights. And again, Kingston playing their 3rd and 3, so there's not a whole lot to give. Both teams tired. But I guess you get a little energy when you're the team in front. Katsopoulos, he's been shooting that puck hard all afternoon long. And now the buzzer goes, and that's going to do it. So it's a 3-1 edge for the Wolves after 2 periods of play, and we have lots to come in our second intermission show. Coming up, we've got a Sports Central update. We'll go one-on-one with Chris Kelly of the Sudbury Wolves, another edition of Toyota CHL Extra, and of course we've got our Easton play of the period. The Wolves and Bert Templeton and the Kingston Frontenacs will both go to the dressing room and try to reload for period number 3. Right after our hockey game from Kingston this afternoon, we'll send you folks out in Sportsnet East Country to the game involving the Ottawa Senators and the Washington Capitals. Should be a good one as a couple of Eastern Conference foes knock heads, and that's the same situation in Kingston today as the Frontenacs take on the Wolves. Chris Kelly joins us from the Sudbury Wolves. Pretty good hockey game for your club. What a big shorthanded goal, and I love watching Fedorov go to work. Boy, he swooped in there. You get a shorthanded goal, that's big for the hockey club.
Definitely. They got one there, and it was 2-1, but Derek and Fedor play really well together, and they got us back on the board there.
Let's talk about your season, Chris. You've only played 45 games because of the wrist problem, but you still have 26 goals. How do you see it?
Well, I was fortunate. I got hurt just after Christmas there, and I came up here at the deadline, and I didn't get to play at the start, so it was pretty tough. But I think I'm getting back in the swing of things, and things are going really well.
Things are really going well for your hockey club right now. Only 1 loss in the last 10 games. You're building something very important. What's been the key to your success as a team this year, do you think, Chris?
Well, we're just gelling. We're playing as a team. We have a lot of individual talent, but I think we're working as a team together, so things are working really well.
Yeah, they sure are, and there's word that maybe Taylor Pyatt might still be coming back to the program for the New York Islanders, so wouldn't that be great for the Wolves? Chris, we appreciate that. Good luck in the 3rd period.
Thanks a lot.
All right, that's Chris Kelly, the former London Knight, who is now playing, of course, with the Sudbury Wolves. And this was the goal we were talking about, the shorthanded effort. Fedorov to Derek Mckenzie, and it's 3-1.
Hi, everybody. I'm Darren Dreger in the CTV Sportsnet studio. I hope you're enjoying CHL Sunday. We'll take you for a full spin around the NHL coming up on the early edition. A barn burner going on at the Briar at the Civic Center in Ottawa. Manitoba's Kerry Burton, a wily old veteran, taking on another veteran, Randy Furby, and his young Alberta team. Opening end, Alberta's Dave Nettleman with a hammer. Manitoba lying 2, but that's no problem for Nettleman. He draws the button, and it's a 1-0 Alberta lead. A delay in the second end because there is a pigeon flying around, and he's knocking all the stuffing out of the ceiling. The debris is there, and he's the culprit. Second end, Burtnick facing 2. He also has to test his draw weight very early on. No problem for him. He scores 1, and it's tied at 1. Third end, Dave Nettleman with the hammer. He is looking for the double. The Rays double doesn't connect. He only gets 1. Manitoba steals. Fourth end, Nettleman with the hammer. Manitoba lying 3. Off the Manitoba rock. He gets the double. Scores 1 to make it 2-2 after 4. But as you see, they're fully into the 7th end. Alberta ahead of Kerry Burtnick 4-3. We'll keep you posted on this on the early edition. Oilers' Craig McTavish as his team's taking on the Hurricanes in Raleigh-Durham. Late in the opening period, the Oilers with a power play. Tom Poti takes the shot, but it hits Anson Carter in the face. He had to leave this game. Reportedly, he needed 7 stitches. Second period. Bad giveaway. George Larocque has been on fire of late. He gets his 11th, beats Urbane. It's 1-0 Edmonton. Oilers keep pressing. Yanni Niinema here from the point. Gets some help from Mike Comrie in front, but Urbane makes the save. The Canes respond. Sandis Ozolinsh. He centers. Shane Willis gets a chunk of that too, but Salo's good for the save. Carolina on the power play. Francis feeds Sami Kapanen. Salo makes the save, robs Jeff O'Neill to keep it 1-0 after 2. Third period, the Canes with a power play. Shane Willis absolutely blows it by Salo. His 19th ties it at 1. Bates Battaglia has the go-ahead goal for the Carolina Hurricanes in Raleigh-Durham as they lead by 1 in the third period. Keep in mind the Oilers have won 7 in a row. Other action around the National Hockey League this afternoon, the Minnesota Wild getting some help from Sergei Krivokrasov. The expansion team leads the Red Wings 2-1 in the second period. The early edition of Sports Central is coming up. Look forward to more from the National Hockey League. The kart race season gets underway. And post-game report from the Brier. That's all coming up on the early edition.
Toyota CHL Extra, brought to you by Toyota Canada and its dealers.
Extending their unbeaten string to 14 games last week helped the Red Deer Rebels stay on top in the CHL Top 10 rankings. The Rebels are number 1 for the 8th consecutive week. No changes in the 2 and 3 slots either, as Shawinigan and Erie hold on to their ratings. 2 other teams, though, cracked the top 10 for the first time this year, as Kelowna and Sudbury both get hot at the right time. And no one from Sudbury is hotter than their captain. Derek Mckenzie is the OHL Player of the Week. He was the first star in 3 of the 4 games the Wolves played last week. In the Quebec League, Sergei Klaiseman of the Halifax Mooseheads had 7 points in 3 games. And Jarrett Stoll of the Kootenay Ice is the best from the West this week. 11 points in just 3 games will do the trick every time. The London Knights have been the bad boys of the CHL all year long, and that trend continues. Dennis Weidman has been suspended 4 games for an elbow he threw at Brampton's Jeff Bateman. The Knights are the most penalized team in the Ontario League, and they've now lost 25 man games to suspensions. On a more positive note for London, a big night for the big night, Joel Sherbin. Last night in Erie, Sherbin played in his 270th game in a London uniform, and that breaks the franchise record held by former NHLer Brad Marsh. Terrible news for the Western Hockey League Calgary hitman. Netminder Brent Cron is gone. Gone for the rest of the year because of a dislocated kneecap. Cron is a first-round pick of the Calgary Flames, and his loss is a huge blow to the hopes of the hitman. One member of the hitman has something to feel good about, though. Hardworking forward Sean McCausland has signed a 3-year deal with the Edmonton Oilers. McCausland was never drafted, but he's impressed the Oilers with his tenacious style. Lane Ulmer was drafted by the Ottawa Senators, and it looks as if it was a smart pick, too. The Swift Current Bronco star scored his 60th goal of the season in a 6-3 win over Calgary Wednesday. Ulmer still hasn't signed a contract with Ottawa, and this might help them make up their minds. The Sudbury Wolves lead this game 3-1. Here is part of the reason why. Vaillancourt deflects it in front. Our play in the second period is brought to you by Easton, putting your best game on ice. And that's exactly what Thomas Scarvidlo did as he gets loose. Scarvidlo spies an opening and drills it home, his 10th of the year. That made it a 2-1 game, but then Sudbury scored to make it 3-1, and that's where we stand after 40. And that's our play of the period.
Sportsnet CHL Hockey is presented in part by Molson Canadian. It's a Canadian game. And by Sherwood, proud to serve the hockey world.
Oh yes, we remember them well. Some of the Kingston Frontenacs that have gone on to play in the National Hockey League. You see Chris Gradden there. What about Brent Lindros, Chad Kilger, finally finding himself a home, it seems, to the Montreal Canadiens. Matt Cook, Tyler Moss, and the list goes on and on and on. And Andrew Raycroft, we mentioned him earlier in the game. He was marvelous last year in goal for the Kingston Frontenacs. He was the MVP of the entire league, and now he's moved on to the Bruins organization. Our second period summary brought to you by Aruba, a memory forever.
Well, it was a pretty tight period. Kingston tried to work hard to come back. They came within one goal on a goal by Scarvidlo, but the shorthanded goal was the backbreaker, the one that Mckenzie scored at a terrific play by Fedorov.
Boy, was it ever. I'll tell you what, this Fedor Fedorov is a very improved player. I mean, he was obviously a good player, drafted in the 6th round by Tampa Bay, but they just must be licking their lips now in anticipation of this guy, because he's gotten better and better and better.
Well, the one thing that the coaches did say when we were talking about him is just a scary talent.
Yeah.
Like, just unbelievable skills. The guy could do anything. He can control a game. The only thing that sometimes happens with these young kids is their inconsistency. When you talk to these coaches, a lot of things they talk about is consistency. These kids don't come to play every night. They take nights off. They don't realize that when they turn pro, they can't take those nights off. They have to be ready to play every single night.
Well, there he is right there in the middle of your screen. Fedor Fedorov, good-looking young man, just like his brother Sergei. Sergei's been in 4 NHL All-Star games, and Fedor Fedorov was telling me that he was really excited about playing in his first All-Star game this year. He was part of the CHL All-Star Classic, and he was excited about that.
Well, he had a good showing there in Montreal. I was very impressed. And it's funny, you know, you look at his face, and he's this very same look as his brother.
Yeah.
And they're 10 years apart in age.
And he's a very intelligent young man, too, because when you ask him, who's your favorite NHL player, he says Sergei Fedorov. It's easy. You got to take care of Big Brother, and Big Brother will take care of you. Maybe Anna Kournikova has a young tennis-playing friend. You never know. You got to take care of each other. I'm just kidding. All right, here we go. The Frontenacs trailing 3-1 as we begin play in period 3. We're 6 aside. Scarvidlo has the puck. He has the only Kingston goal. He wears number 15. Not wasting any time. Took the shot. Deflected aside. The Wolves bring it back. Young Chris Kelly, the man we talked to in the second intermission. He wears number 11 for the men in blue. And number 11 will throw it into Kingston territory. Now the Wolves back up a bit, trying to protect this 3-1 edge. They spot Scarvidlo. He's having some problems as he pulls into the corner, and now he's got more problems. Jancevski hammered him hard. They continue to battle for the puck. Pops loose. Kip Brennan on the boards for Jaspers. Frontenacs have it, but only momentarily. Now Jaspers will skate it. He's 36 goal man for the Wolves. The 3rd round pick of the Phoenix Coyotes. In tight for Kelly. They worked it to the top of the crease for Brennan, but now it rolls into the corner. They jam away for that puck. And the referee yelling, move it. Top of the line, Semenov. Couldn't get good wood on it. And here comes Kingston. Saber spots Big Kluche, the 2nd round pick of the New Jersey Devils. Pulls up. Now he slides it to the top of the crease. Lisbeth tracks it down in the corner. Back to O'Brien. Hit a pair of pads in front. TJ Work is trying to work it out. And the Wolves do park it back to center ice. What's the key for a Kingston comeback, John?
They need to make quick line changes, make sure that they have quick shifts so the guys aren't getting too tired. When you get out there for too long of a shift, it really wears on you, especially after playing 3-3 nights.
O'Brien with a good shot. It was low. Rebound. Lisbeth into the corner. Now Stillman. Into Ianiero. Lisbeth in front. Ianiero trying to wheel his way to the front of the net. Got knocked down back quickly on his feet. Wolves pick it up. Mckenzie. The Fedorov, they tried to give and go, but O'Brien read that. Fedorov loses the handle. But Workus has it. The Fedorov went off his skates. He gives chase. And again, the Wolves making those quick changes. So both teams, tired hockey clubs, as we come to the end of the weekend, making quick changes. Here's McCutcheon trying to hold his man off. Got one hand on that stick. And obviously just one hand on that shot, so he didn't have much pop to it. Comes behind the net. McCutcheon continues to work. Big Justin McCutcheon, number 18 for the Frontenacs, the native of Ithaca, New York. Vaillancourt, he has one of the game's goals today, number 8 for the Wolves. That's not going to work. McCutcheon brings it back the other way. Quickly to Ianiero, still out in the ice. Ianiero with the shot. Almost got it back. Now they step into it, Sabrin specifically, but it hit a stick and goes way up into the crowd and out of play. There's that music, and there's that game. The Vancouver Canucks, who blew a 3-0 lead last night against the Toronto Maple Leafs, will try and rectify the situation as they take on the Detroit Red Wings, the next edition of Tuesday Night Hockey. And boy, oh boy, we're getting excited about this. We've got the first round covered for you as far as the NHL playoffs are concerned right here on Sportsnet. It all gets going April 11th. We were talking about that Maple Leaf Canuck game at breakfast this morning, John. What a wild affair, a 3-3 tie, and Donald Bashir and Ty Domi fought a couple of times. That was an interesting hockey game.
They had that battle going all night long. They weren't going to give up on it. The Leafs played really well coming back. You could just see the momentum change.
Yes, a big road trip for the Maple Leafs with all the trade rumors swirling. They end up with a 500 trip. Puck loose. There's a shot by Thompson and rolled over the big body of Mike Smith and out the other side. Tennant left point. Puts it into the corner for McCutcheon, trying to twist and turn. Gets knocked down. And Drew Kibble is going to get the gate number 24 for the Wolves. So Kingston has a chance to dance with the man advantage early in this third period.
Kingston has done it right this third period. They've come out strong. They're throwing everything they have at them. They can't afford to sit back and wait. Kibble comes in, just battling along the boards and just hauls the Frontenac player down to the ice. But the reason that happened is because they've come out right from the very first shift in the third period and put pressure on the Wolves in their own end. They haven't really given them a chance to breathe. They've been smothering them on the attack. This Kingston team is working down low, working the puck, getting to the net, and creating any opportunity they can. Larry Mavety obviously told them that that's what they have to do for this third period.
Frontenacs need a power play goal. Their last power play opportunity, they had 4 shots on goal, so that's a start. Now the Wolves deal the disc down the ice, and as you can see, Kingston 0 for 4 with the man advantage, but their last power play, John, was their best.
They did it. They had some opportunities. They moved the puck around well. That's what they have to continue to do here.
Dickinson up front with Big Kluche. And Scarvidlo, they put him up front. Sometimes he plays the point, sometimes he's up top. And they've got Braff and Tennant back on the blue line brigade. Braff has the puck. Needs some help. He was hoping Dickinson was going to cut. Tennant. He brings it in over the line. Kluche into the corner. Just over a minute to go in this power play. Get it back to Braff. He's had lots of shots from the point, then he makes his point again with another shot. But Smith covers up.
Sudbury's led by this big Alexei Semenov on defense. The Wolves have 8 draft picks into the NHL. 2 of the top players on this team, Jancevski and Semenov. Both solid players, the type of defenseman that NHL teams look for. You look to see this young fella up in the NHL. He'll be a leader. He has that type of personality where he likes to lead.
Yeah, Jancevski, he was the captain for the OHL team at the All-Star game that John and I worked back on January 24th. And this is not good from a Frontenac perspective, as they are going to pick up a penalty now, and that's going to negate the power play. And who is it making that skate? It's Lisbeth.
Lisbeth is trying to battle for the puck and just gets a stick on the Wolf player coming out to try to chip the puck out of the zone. It's unfortunate. It happened last week. There was 12 penalties last week for Rimouski. They kept on getting penalties on their own power play. This is the last thing that the Frontenacs need at this moment.
Well, Larry Mavety pacing behind that Kingston bench with those big cowboy boots that he wears. And looking kind of frustrated because the Frontenacs, they've got all those injury problems we've been talking about, and they've suffered for it. They've lost 4 in a row coming into this game this afternoon, and they're trailing 3-1. Comes right into the bench. on Sudbury's side of the rink. They'll whistle it down.
Bert Templeton must really feel good about where his team is at this moment. Third period of a 3-3 night weekend. He's got a tight defense. That's the thing that they key on against this Kingston team. They said that they want to play a tight defensive game. Larry Mavity's looking for answers here. He cannot be too happy about Lisbeth taking that penalty on the power play. They need to get a goal to get back in this game.
Well, Mavity has done a great job with this Kingston team. They've got a shot at setting a record for the lowest goals against average in a single season. The record is 224 coming into this game. With 5 games left, they've given up only 200 goals. So 3 more today, 203, and they still have a real good shot at breaking that record. And that really would be something, because Andrew Raycroft was sensational in goal for the Frontenacs a year ago. And can it get any better than that? Well, some people didn't think so. But if you play good team defense, that's the secret.
Well, that is a secret. If you're solid in front of your goalie, give him the opportunity to make the first stop. As long as they don't get those second shots on net, makes the goalie's job much easier.
Well, Hammerlich's job is a lot tougher now, because Sudbury with the power play, Fedorov took the shot. Just under a minute to go in this latest Sudbury power play. Fedorov to Jansevsky. Down low. Back to Jansevsky. Fedorov, he's got it loaded up in front. He says, give me that puck, and this is what I will do. Great one-timer. Good save by Hammerlich. And Hammerlich, a very good goaltender, obviously. A late cut, somewhat surprisingly, from Team Slovakia at the World Juniors, and he was really disappointed about that. But he's battled back this year, had just a sensational season. Draft pick of the Pittsburgh Penguins, who went to camp with Pittsburgh this year and said it was a lot of fun learning to face shots like Jaromir Jaeger's shot and whatnot. Now he'll face some good shots from this Wolf power play, as they've got 10 seconds to go, but it skips over Semenov's stick and down the ice, and it looks as if Kingston is going to be able to kill this thing off. Here comes Semenov. Power play, though, is over. Over the line, Semenov in tight. Kelly searching for it, but they park at the center ice. Semenov coming for a change. He sits down. And he watches as the Wolves try to hem up this Kingston Hockey Club. And that's exactly what they do. They steal the puck. Sudbury on the attack. They get it back to Breckelmans, but he was going one way. The puck was going the other way. Foot race for it. Ianiero and Kibble battling for it. Up on the glass it comes. Tennant comes over. Parks it into the corner. Breckelmans. Kelly over the line. And Hammerlich will catch it, and feeling the pressure, he's going to hold on. And you hold on when we come back. The final 12:23 of this third period. Darren Dreger with the early edition of Sports Central. Check the time in your area and make sure and tune in for that. If for some reason you're doing something and you can't do that, don't worry about it. We've got a backup plan. You've always got to have a backup plan. And our backup plan is Sports Central Primetime with Jamie Campbell and RJ Broadhead. And that's got the green light at 10 o'clock in each and every region. One of my favorite shows, John, Sports Central.
It should be one of your favorite shows.
Oh, yeah, I'm on it sometimes. Makes perfect sense. Do you enjoy it, though, John?
I love watching your show. I love watching that show. Good.
We're glad to entertain you, John. And this game has been pretty entertaining this afternoon. It would be much more entertaining if the Frontenacs could muster a goal here to chop it down to a one-goal game, as icing is the call. 12:02 to go in the third, and Sudbury leads the Frontenacs 3-1.
Well, this Kingston team has got to be tired. They've got a lot of injuries. They're shortened bench. Guys that usually don't get a lot of ice time, like McCutcheon, is out there playing hard. Mavity's looking down his bench to see who can step up to the plate and get this goal to get them back in the competition.
Let's see who can win this faceoff. Metsopoulos wins it back, but the Frontenacs read it, and they bring it back. McCutcheon hustling into that corner. Tried to throw it to Cook, but it hit a stick and deflected right to the netminder, Big Mike Smith, and he closes the books on that one.
Smith has been very solid today. His goals against average is 4th in the league. He's had a solid year with this Wolves team. One reason Mavety likes having him on this team is because of his experience, what he did learn last year. He lacked a little bit of confidence, but once he got his confidence, he took it, ran with it.
Yes, he's been very good. The Frontenacs out shooting the Wolves to this juncture, 31-24, but Sudbury with the 2-goal edge. Another race for it. Eric Bob gets there ahead of Jerry Connell, but Connell not giving up. Thompson. He slides it into the corner for McCutcheon, but the Wolves pry it loose. Katsopoulos, he's had a good game for Sudbury tonight. Tom Katsopoulos, number 27. He's been all over the place. And he's out there now, checking Thompson at center ice. Thompson, though, brings it in. For the hash marks. Pass picked off. Hustling. Who else? Katsopoulos. Here he comes again. Fires it on the fly. Goes off the glass. Cook pokes at it. Breckelman's inside his own blue line. Looking for Prodzik. Missed him. Groff touches it. Face-off. Sudbury territory.
Speaking with Lou Dickinson before the game started, when he went to the Edmonton camp, I asked him what they wanted him to work on. He said the one big thing that he needs to work on is face-offs. The Frontenacs feel very fortunate to have him behind Zigomanis and Stillman. They feel that they have a lot of depth at center. Takes a lot of pressure off Ziggy and Stillman so that they don't have to be relied upon as much each night to do a big job. And with the injury to Zigomanis, they feel that Dickinson can step right up to the top 2 lines and play well.
Well, you're right, drafted into the NHL by the Edmonton Oilers, and the first player ever drafted by the Mississauga Ice Dogs. Things didn't work out in Mississauga. He was traded to London, and this year traded to Sudbury. And for the first time this year in his OHL career, Dickinson will see some playoff action. He's never been to the postseason before. Mckenzie, he's into the corner. Gave the puck away, but he was being pressured. Wolves get it back. Fedorov, look at him go to work. Puck in a string. Throws it behind the net. Mckenzie there. Protecting that puck. Trying to poke it loose. TJ Warkus, the other member of this big line that they've got out there right now. As he goes to the front of the net. Fedorov into the face-off circle. Wheeling and dealing. They've got to keep their eyes on him. He made that sensational play in the second period to set up Mckenzie for the shorthanded goal. The goal that made it 3-1. Play whistle down offside. Really, that's been the difference with 10-10 to go in the third period. Well, this is going to be it, our regular season finale for CHL hockey here on Sportsnet, and it will feature one of the best young defensemen in the business, Jay Bomeister of the Medicine Tigers. Already 2 World Junior Championships under his belt, and the young man is only 17 years old. It's Medicine at Lethbridge, and it's coming up 1 week from today.
Fedorov has had a really good contest today. You can tell that he's in very good shape. He's coming to this game after as many games as they have played. He doesn't look like he's tired one bit. There's a lot of jump in his step.
And hopefully his brother will have some jump in his step when he comes back off that broken nose. He's supposed to come back any day now. Thompson off to the races. He was trying to work his way through that Sudbury defense. Couldn't do it. Grattan over the Kingston line. Loads it up. Hits the glass. Top of the line. Is it going to poke out over that blue line? Yes, it is. And Prodzik has to go back for it. Collision, center ice. Kingston throws it in. And we had some hacking and whacking right in that neutral zone. And a penalty parade when we come back. We'll tell you about it. Stay with us, everybody. Action from the association. That's the cool name for the NBA. And it's Vancouver and Charlotte coming your way in Sportsnet Pacific. And we also feature the Toronto Raptors in Sportsnet Ontario. That's coming up Thursday, and it's a good one. An instant replay of last year's first-round playoff matchup between the Toronto Raptors and the New York Knicks.
This is exactly what the Kingston team has to do. He takes the man. Josh Grattan didn't like it. Takes a penalty for roughing. Now, they have a 2-goal lead. They don't need to be in the box. They need to be disciplined. 10 minutes left in the game. It's a perfect opportunity for Kingston to get one step closer.
They're searching for some new life. And the search has been elusive with the man advantage. 0 for 5 in the power play. O'Brien, soft shot. Smith had problems seeing it, but it ends up in the corner. Starling He's going to the lumber, and number 14 for the Wolves had better be careful. Rapp socks it behind the net. Ianiero. Stillman looking for it. Chris Kelly has it. Comes back to Broff. Another shot. Tricky. Smith got a piece of it. Gazzy! Lisbeth behind the net. One of the Wolves gets hauled down. That was Jancevski. But the referee shakes his head and says no. Now O'Brien being pressured by Jaspers. 1:05 to go in attack time in this Kingston power play. They need something here, trailing 3-1 with 8:25 to go in the third. Ianiero brings it in over the line. The Ottawa Senator draft pick. Being hammered by Jancevski, the Dallas Star pick in front. There's a shot. Lisbeth right on. And Smith covers up.
Travis Lisbeth's seen a little bit of power play time. He's probably one of the premier penalty killers in the Ontario Hockey League. With this shortened bench, they have to utilize him on every situation. With Zigomanis out of the lineup, Derek Campbell, they're missing a couple of their big guns. But he's never going to lack effort out there. Usually the best penalty killers are the guys that have that tenacity. They just don't quit.
And with a guy like Mike Zigomanis down with the injury, you have to use different people at different times in different situations. 45 seconds ago in the Kingston power play. The fans still in this game, as you can hear. Mckenzie, though, and Fedorov, that's the dynamic duo, shorthanded. They've got the puck now. Mckenzie carrying it, and backhand shot goes wide. He had Fedorov with him, but he was well covered. Scarvidlo, he has a head of steam to center ice. Puche comes through. Parks that puck behind the cage. Smith stops it for Semenov. They get it for Mckenzie. Kingston trying to set things up for one last attempt with the power play. Mckenzie, so tenacious. Backhands it out of harm's way with 5 seconds to go in the power play. And again, lights out for the Frontenacs. Puck stolen. Fedorov moving in for the kill. Stopped by Hammerlick. And Hammerlick is hurt. Hammerlick is still lying down as they blow it down, and he's in some obvious pain. I don't know what happened to him. But boy, oh boy, Fedorov so dangerous as he swooped in once more. And Larry Mabity says, not again. We've got too many injury problems, and now his big goaltender is down.
Fedorov has been jumping all over the place. Just battling. The puck gets chipped out by Mckenzie. Fedorov's right on top of the defender, Nathan Tennant.
Wow.
Steals the puck like he was standing still. This Frontenac defense are not the quickest defense. Slow moving, not as agile as you would like to have.
I think he kind of threw his shoulder out a little bit, John, when he made that play to come over on the Fedorov move. Here it is. You can throw your shoulder on a whack when you come across like that. Watch it here, John. Right there, he twisted it.
Oh, it looked like he was just throwing his whole body and try to get in front of it. Looks like Fedorov grabs his arm here with his stick, pulls it.
Oh yeah.
His right arm puts it in an awkward position.
Well, they don't want to lose Hammerlick, although they do have another good young rookie goaltender, Glenn Riddler, who's done some sensational things for Frontenacs. And there he is. It's a good 1-2 punch, and again, both of these guys are freshmen, so that bodes well for future. But it looks as if Hammerlick's going to be all right to continue. So that's good news for Larry Mabity and company.
Sure is.
Penalty coming up, and it's going Sudbury's way. It was out the faceoff. Interference is going to be the call. They were trying to set a pick, and big Kip Brennan is off to the penalty box, and he has a few choice words for some of the Frontenacs on his way.
Well, he's a very feared player in this league. He's known for his fisticuffs. But again, this is giving Kingston an opportunity on the right side of the screen. Brennan grabs the guy, just hauls him right down off the faceoff. Bert Temple doesn't need his players in the box right now. They've got to protect this 2-goal league. They are opening the door for an opportunity for the Frontenacs to get a goal. Fortunately for this Wolves team, Kingston's power play hasn't been very successful.
And we don't have to look at our monitor to see Bert Templeton. We can just look down about 10 feet, and there he is. He looks just as steamed in person as he does on the TV monitor. He wants a victory. In a first place battle in the Eastern Conference with St. Mike's and Belleville. The Wolves were 3 back of St. Mike's as we began play this afternoon. Smith gets it up high in his body, and he'll cover for another stoppage of play. Yes, things are very tight in the East, John. Look at that.
It is really tight, but you're right about Kingston wanting to get that home ice advantage. It's really important. Larry Mowry was preaching before the game how these injuries coming down the line. He just wants to, it doesn't matter what happens, he just needs to get his team healthy. But to get that 4th spot would really make it a lot easier in the playoffs.
Yeah, just like the NHL, the top 4 seeds get home ice advantage. Heavy shot wide. 1:35 to go in this latest Kingston power play. And this time they've got Scarvidlo back in a point. He can go both ways. He can play up front. He can go back in a point. Number 15 is on the point for this power play right now. Stillman tries to bring it in. Scarvidlo. Backhand pass, cross ice. Lisbeth. Too far ahead for Ianiero. Lisbeth, though, backs him up. Now he puts it high into the air. Too high. Over the glass it goes. And another souvenir for the fans in Kingston. And they're pretty noisy fans in this building this afternoon. It's certainly not sold out, but the people that are here are having a good time. Oh, well, at least they were until their team was trailing.
I remember playing in this building when I was in Peterborough, and the excitement in here every time we played here, it was fantastic. I really enjoyed coming here to play against them.
You see, I think a lot of people don't come to the arena for our Sportsnet games because they're watching at home on TV, and that's, well, it's kind of a double-edged sword. We love the atmosphere, but we love people staying home and watching the game on TV, too. So what are you going to do?
And they get to listen to us. Can you blame them?
That's an invaluable experience for people.
Absolutely.
Yes, yes. Confidence is very important. You've got to be confident in each other because nobody else is.
You exude confidence.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, I hope that Ianiero is confident that his team can get back into it with a power play goal because, boy, they really need one. 1:05 to work on the power play, John, and so far not much.
They need to get to the net, get some traffic.
O'Brien gets to the front of that net. But Mckenzie, who's been all over the place in a shorthanded situation, gets it down the ice. Fedorov has it. Dickinson, he can skate. Nice little move. Everybody yelling Lou as Lou Dickinson brings that puck over the line. O'Brien, no, he brought it in way offside with 37 seconds to go in the power play. 5:51 to go in the third, and the Wolves in front by 2.
Well, these bench bosses have had a lot of experience. Brian Kilray with 900 wins. Looking at number 2 and number 4, Templeton and Mavity, over 600. 800 for Templeton. These guys have longevity, and that's unusual in the coaching ranks.
You know, it's funny, Bert Templeton in his 2nd year in the OHL won a Memorial Cup with the Hamilton Finn Cups, and he hasn't won another Memorial Cup since.
Well, he probably thought it was going to be very easy after that. You know,
this is easy.
Yeah, no problem. Doesn't happen that way.
But he's had a great deal of success. 7 first-place finishes. And he built that Barry Colts program. And, of course, they went to the Memorial Cup last year, but Bert had a better offer in Sudbury, so he went to Sudbury. But certainly a lot of those Colts that were part of that team that went to the Memorial Cup last year were brought into that program by Bert Templeton. He knows his stuff. There's no question about that. Sure 20 seconds to go in the power play. Scarvidlo throws it in. Breckelmans will try and throw it out. Blocked at the line. Scarvidlo shooting again. Doesn't get through. Now it does. Jaspers clears it to center ice, and again that is going to do it for a Kingston power play. It's really struggled in this game this afternoon. They had opportunities, but they didn't walk through that open door. Kluche, big number 16, throws it into the corner. McCutcheon, who played junior A hockey last year with the Brampton Capitals. Not the Brampton Battalion, I'm talking about their junior A team, the provincial team, the Brampton Capitals. He wears number 18 for the Frontenacs. He's into the corner, and the puck arrives on the scene just as McCutcheon gets there. Battling with Seminoff. Now Starling. Good first pass ahead for Kelly. Kelly misfired on the pass attempt, but fortunately for him, he gets it back, and now he deals it in to Kingston territory. Savage. Pass ahead for McCutcheon. Leaves it for Thompson. He's got Cook with it. Thompson busting through to Cook. Pass behind him. Now he has to catch up. And he can't do it as Katsopoulos clears it. Rolling down the ice. Vaillancourt hustling down. Sabrin gets there first, but Vaillancourt staying with it. Cook, though, gets it through to Sabrin. And he'll touch it over to Ianiero. Trying to hit Cook. Here comes Cook. He's got a partial break. Busting in. Takes the shot. Big save. Smith. Just when they needed Smith to be good, he was. Cook. Back to the point. Oh, they can't hold it in. And what a big save that was by Mike Smith.
I like the way that Cook skates. He came out. He came down that ice hard. Smith came out, cut down the ankle, very confident. Didn't give him any room.
That was the opportunity the Frontenacs were looking for. But Smith, with his big pad, stopped that shot. Well, we've got another penalty. And we'll tell you all about that when we come back on Sportsnet CHL Hockey.
Jerry Connell in the box for tripping. It's another opportunity to the Frontenacs. The last thing that they need to do, the Wolves, is give up all these opportunities for the Frontenac to get back in the game. They want to get this thing over with. They played a lot of hockey. Bert Templeton's ready to go home. He must be tired.
Well, if he's tired, his team must be downright exhausted. Because you're right, they've played a lot of hockey, these young men. 0 for 7 with the man advantage. Try again. That's the game plan. They get the shot off. And that's been a problem because in those 7 power plays, they only have 10 shots.
Sportsnet CHL Hockey is presented in part by Molson Canadian. It's a Canadian game. And by Sherwood, proud to serve the hockey world.
Kingston on the power play, trailing 3-1. O'Brien. It was on edge, but he got a piece of it. And a good save again by Smith. He's been so calm, so cool and collected in that Wolf net all afternoon long. Shots on goal 38-25, but again Sudbury in front by 2. They make some quick changes. Both teams tired. Who's got more get up and go than the other team? That's the question down the stretch. Just under 3 minutes to go, third period. 1:20 to go, power play time, Kingston. Jansevsky puts it on the glass, can't get it out. Braff holds it in. Ianiero tried to hit Stillman in front of the pass, but he never really got a hold of that puck. Now here's O'Brien. Oh, he's tired. He's played a lot of hockey. Couldn't hold it in. And Braff backtracks. Angles it off the boards. Fedorov, though, has it. And he's got some open real estate to go for a skate. And he can skate. Let's watch him fly. What a beautiful fluid skater. He still has that puck. Oh my goodness. I think there's going to be another Fedorov in the NHL one day, John.
Oh, I think you're absolutely right. There will be.
Scarvidlo can't do anything with it. And the fans getting frustrated. And the Frontenacs getting frustrated. 25 seconds to go in the man advantage. Boy, do they ever miss Mike Zigomanis on this Kingston power play. And again, in case you're just picking us up, the injured sniper out of the lineup with a shoulder problem. Now some open room for Dickinson. The spot, Cloutier put it wide. Oh, Cloutier gets that on the net. It's in the net, but he couldn't do it.
Did you see who was back checking on that play? It was Fedorov. He's had a terrific game today. Definitely one of the top players on the ice.
And the power play is over, so the Fronts a woeful 0 for 8 with a man advantage. Sudbury 0 for 3 with the power play, but the key for Sudbury is they have a shorthanded goal. And that was the goal that really put the icing on the cake, so far at least, for the Wolves. They skate with it again. They've got a little energy. They've got that big bus trip coming up. But again, if you're winning the hockey game, the bus legs aren't as bad. We're into the final minute. Lisbeth moving quickly down the wing. Gets plastered into the end boards by Big Starling. Comes out to O'Brien. Stillman throws it into the corner for Ianiero. Now the puck comes out, and Ianiero skates back for it. Braff throws it in. Smith, is he going to play it himself? Yes, he is. He puts it to the corner for Kelly. Pokes it up. Here's Katsopoulos, wheeling down the right side. Tries the pass. That was blocked smartly by Braff. And we're into the final dozen seconds of this third period. And now Katsopoulos looks at Braff, and Braff says, if you want to go, I'll go. Katsopoulos backs up. But now Starling moves in. Starling and Braff, they go at it right in front of that Kingston net. And the linesmen quickly break it up as soon as those two big young gentlemen hit the ice surface.
Did you see the way Starling came flying in there?
Yeah.
6'6", 225 pounds of him. He didn't hesitate one bit.
Time now to take a look at our game story, brought to you by Rayovac. Stop by your local home hardware or home building center for your free CHL puck coupon and a chance to win a trip for two to the Memorial Cup in Regina.
Kingston came out in the third period. They did all they could. They outshot Sudbury today 39-25, but the backbreaker was a shorthanded goal by Derek Mckenzie. The Frontenacs had 8 power play opportunities and didn't convert once. These Sudbury boys have worked hard. They're tired. They have a long road trip to go home. It's going to be well worth their while, the effort that they put in today.
Did they have movies on the bus when you were playing junior hockey, John?
Oh yeah, I'd say we watched Slapshot quite a few times.
I didn't know if they had the movies back on the bus.
Yeah, we did.
I guess that wasn't too long ago.
Actually, it was a lot of fun on the bus.
Yeah.
That's that's some of the good memories playing junior hockey, being on the road trips with the guys.
If you get the win, you always get to watch the movies.
That's right.
So that's the inspiration you need, because that's a long trip.
It's a long, quiet trip.
Yeah. if you don't win, yeah. Well, the Wolves don't have to worry about that. Firing the slap shot on the bus, because the Sudbury Wolves have defeated the Kingston Frontenacs 3-1. And for the Frontenacs, they search for answers because they have now lost 5 straight. Time now to take a look at our play of the game. John, you have the honors.
Well, Thomas Scarvidlo gets the pass up here, feeds it, but it's a nice low shot, which makes this goal beautiful. He puts it in the right spot as the sprawling Wolves defenseman tries to get in front of it, but it was just too late.
And our play of the game brought to you by Bauer. Leave an impression. Our 3 stars are brought to you by Toyota Canada and its dealers. And I was very impressed with the net minding of Mike Smith. Didn't do anything fancy, John, but he got the job done.
No, he didn't do anything fancy. He had 39 shots against and did a fine job standing up. 38 saves. You have to be very, very happy with his performance.
So the Sudbury Wolves, they are really howling as they win this game. 3-1 is your final score.
Sportsnet CHL Hockey is brought to you by Canadian Tire, still the right place. By Dodge, a proud sponsor of Major Junior Hockey. By Molson Canadian, it's a Canadian game. And by Sherwood, proud to serve the hockey world.
Don't forget, coming up next, we've got, for you folks at Sportsnet East Country, it's coming up at 5 p.m., all right? We've got Ottawa and Washington, so stay tuned for that. The rest of the country will get a chance to go to Sweden for some World Cup skiing action. That's in the Ontario West and Pacific regions.